Hey everyone, Slade here. To let you know, there's a bit of an audio error in this episode of Between Two Pods at about the hour 42 mark, which yes is a long time. One of the guests, Alex, lost all of his audio for Riverside, which was a different software from what I normally use. Sorry about that. Nothing really I can do about it. So some audio sections might seem a little weird. I'm going to try my best to cut around it. I'm sorry for any inconvenience that it causes to your listening experience. Kind of thrown off. I'm not used to having a little countdown. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Between Two Pods. My name is Slade, and I'm finally joined by Talking Smack, the ever lovely and vivacious Josh Scar of Talking Smack. Everybody take a drink, and friends. I have Alex and Becky here as well. Lewis may appear at some point like a mythical creature that he is. Hi guys, how are we doing?
Hi.
Hey.
Doing pretty good. Still waiting for that check to clear that you guys sent us for our appearance fee.
Right, yeah, they still haven't paid me for editing, so, that's...
It's trickling down. It'll happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Tim paid me in Dogecoin, so I'm just waiting for that to come through.
Real quick before we get too distracted, because, man, I got a lot of questions for y'all. Can you tell everybody on the internet where they can find you and a bit about your podcast?
You can find the podcast on most social... Becky, you're pointing... In my screen, you're pointing to my wall.
I'm pointing at you.
You're pointing at nothing. You can find the podcast on most social media websites. We are on Lonnie's website. You can find us on Hive Social. You can find us on Post News, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I'm getting rid of my personal Twitter, so that's the only place where I usually am at. But the podcast you can find pretty much anywhere, as well as obviously your favorite podcatchers.
There we go. Awesome. Alex, Becky, do y'all have anywhere that you want people to follow you at, or just Talking Smack is the easy place?
No.
All right.
Well, Alex wants people to follow him to Raising Cane's, which is...
That's a
no.
I love spending money on sinew and chewy pieces of chicken that I have to throw back in the box.
Oh my gosh.
There's no. All right, I hate the argument. It's too much food. It's too much in this economy. You're complaining about too much food. Let's be honest.
It's a great amount of food. I just wish I could eat any of it, but their chicken sucks.
No, well, I mean, it's better than Chick-fil-A, but that's another.
Well,
argument.
that's a completely different
never
argument.
been. I still haven't gone. So I'm not a Chick-fil-A human yet.
Well, Raising Cane's is the best one to go to. But here's something different. So I reached out to a bunch of other podcasts that are a bunch of mutuals of ours. To give y'all an idea, we have No on 15 Allcast has reached out with some. Decaying with the Boys have reached out with some. Casting Views and Fuck My Work Life. Now, I have questions from them. Would you like to start with them, or would you like to start with mine?
Mix it up.
Flip it.
I'd never get this.
Let's start with them.
Oh, start with them.
Josh, yeah, start with them.
We'll start with them. All right, real quick, let's do this because we have everybody here in a smackdown between the Game Club Pod and Talking Smack.
Uh-oh, Slade, we're losing you again.
We did.
You're crackling again.
Yeah, you went all gerbil on us.
I thought I was having a stroke. I smelled toast, and I was like, what? What?
Isn't someone normally making toast in your house?
How is this?
That's better.
It's
Okay,
usually me making the toast.
I just reset my mic. Anyways, Dan from Casting Views would like to know, in a smackdown between the Game Club Pod and Talking Smack, who wins?
The answer is obvious. They would be friends.
Yeah, they would be the best of friends. But, question, is Bo allowed to be a part of the podcast?
He's part of your avatar, so yes.
Okay, well then we win because he'll destroy everybody. He's 100 pounds.
All right.
I was
fair enough.
I was going to say that Talking Smack wins just because we have so many people we can pull in. I mean, and then when you hear, when it looks like everything is going wrong, and then you hear, and Justin from the Movie Wire from the top rope.
Oh no, there's a heel turn. Slade and Joey have turned on Tim.
Which is probably a little closer to the truth. No on 15, Allcast would like to know what your favorite comic book movie is, but specifically from the 90s.
The Rocketeer.
Oh. I'm not that old.
Not that. I mean, we're both from the 90s.
I'm going The Rocketeer, hands down. I mean,
Rocketeer.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Alex. Teenage
original.
Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I was like, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Sorry, Josh, you've been outvoted. Apparently, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja
that's fine.
Turtles.
That's a
you
great.
Gotta get it together as the host.
That's a great answer, but The Rocketeer is mine.
The King with the Boys would like to know. They sent me so many questions, by the way. They have a lot they want to know about you all, apparently. So you can rip any one comic book from existence. What is it and why?
I would say Injustice. It's a shitty universe based on a shitty game that inspired a shitty Batman versus Superman movie.
Well, that is a sin that can't really be forgiven. Yeah, I have my answer is super alternative, but now, can I just pick like parts of the comic that I really didn't enjoy?
You can.
That's where my brain went. My brain went Archie comics that heavily featured Reggie, because I just didn't like him. That's a super throwback. If anybody knows what an Archie comic is, call me.
I literally
Becky,
used to collect them.
Becky, the question is, have you seen Riverdale?
No, I never bothered, because as soon as I saw it was on the CW, I thought to myself, I like watching good television shows.
Well, see, from what I understand, that show is actually ridiculously good in a bad way. Like, it's fun bad. But the best premise I've ever heard is from Matt, our co-host. He said, the premise of the show is basically, what if Archie fucks?
Yup.
And that's the show.
Someone showed me that quote where he's like, I'm weird. And I was like, yeah, that's Zach and Cody. I can't do whatever this is. I can't suspend my belief enough to handle this.
That's fair.
See,
but I want to give that show a chance
Reggie
just
in
because
Riverdale?
I've heard it. I don't know. Maybe they make him better. Or at least maybe he fucks.
He's super annoying. Reggie fucks in the comics, you know he does.
Oh yeah.
I do want to get Alex's on here because he looks like he's been deep in thought. Since
I know,
asked the
I'm
question.
ready.
You touched a nerve with Archie.
I'm gonna go with the Killing Joke, because that is every Joker fanboy's fuck material. It's just like, oh my god, it gives him the best background. You don't know what it is. It can change at any time. Oh my gosh, he's so dark. He pushed Batman to the end, and then it's like, it's the one comic, that is confirmed that Batman kills, because at the end he's not laughing with the Joker, he's killing the Joker. And then we just need Mark Hamill. We just need Mark Hamill to do it, and we just need an R-rated version of it, and we just need it. And no, it was okay. It's solid, but it is not the touchstone of end-all and be-all Batman shit. It is
same with
misogynistic.
the Dark Knight, right?
It is
The Dark Knight Returns.
Well, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I think The Dark Knight Returns is a better story, but it still sucks in terms of a Batman movie or a Batman story.
Yeah.
But anyone who thinks The Killing Joke is a definitive Batman murders the Joker story is fooling themselves. It is ambiguous intentionally.
Yeah, it is shock value that way too many people have clung on to as something that is amazing. It's good, but it should be trashed.
Yeah, and it also made another bad animated movie where Batgirl and Batman have sex and it's not needed. It tacks on 20 minutes of story in front of the actual Killing Joke story just to give Batman a reason to care about Barbara, which is dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Salacious for the sake of being salacious.
Yeah, that's DC, at least pre James Gunn.
True,
We'll see what
true.
happens with James Gunn.
So all three in the bin.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm fine with
All
it.
right. back with Decaying with the Boys. An endless night from our yesteryear. Jolt Cola, Swedish Fish, Blockbuster video game rental. What game are you getting for the homies?
That seems like a complete non sequitur.
Josh's face.
I guess it's what are you renting? What are you renting from Blockbuster?
But like, what does Swedish Fish and Jolt Cola have to do with anything?
You don't know
Is
what Swedish?
No, what do they have to do with anything? Not what are Swedish Fish? Come on.
No.
Those are your snacks.
Yeah.
And you're
Your
getting
snack.
ready, like Fry and his Shasta Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ready to play
I got my
this
2
game.
liter Shasta, my
Yeah.
All Rush mixtape. Let's rock this.
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry, if I'm eating
Now,
anything
put
gummy,
yourself
it's a
in
red
that
vine.
place. Oh yeah, but put yourself in that place, Josh. That's the question. Go. What are you renting?
So I'm going back to like mid to late 90s to rent something from Blockbuster. That's the question.
Yes.
Mid to late 90s, I'm probably renting like Twisted Metal 2 or some kind of sports game.
Oh my God,
All right.
they're making a TV show out of that. Am I right?
They already
are.
dropped it on Peacock. Apparently,
What
it's
the
not
hell
terrible.
is that about? Sorry.
No,
but
it comes out
on
the 8th.
earth? Okay.
Right? It's not out already.
I think they bumped it up. I thought they dropped it on July 27th.
Oh,
I thought it was just a trailer.
yeah. I thought that was a trailer for August 8th.
I don't know. I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes not that long ago, and it said everything dropped on July 27th.
Oh
I think.
shit! Then I need to watch it because that actually looks interesting.
Alex and Becky, what are we getting from Blockbuster? What are we taking back to play with the homies?
Specifically the homies, because that was a time
Right.
when we had to share everything
Right.
that we had. And my brother and I play games in a very weird way. Like, can't describe it, but it's like we're playing house. Cruising Exotica, Cruising Worlds, or Pokemon Snap. I don't know if that's still the 90s. That might have been.
Oh
no,
man,
It's-
you're
it's
gonna touch a
still-
nerve with Tim and Joey with Pokemon Snap. That just had its
I-
24.
fucking love that game.
No, you don't.
That's the
No, you
biggest
don't.
disappointment of Tim and Joey's life.
I fucking
They're
love
like-
it. I love it so much. I have it illegally on my iPad so that I can play it. I also own a physical copy for my Nintendo 64.
Oh.
July
I played
1999, just under the radar.
Okay, I was like, I don't think it's a 2000. I know I saw nines in there when I pull out the case. So I'm
I
gonna
saw-
play that game.
I saw a tweet that mentioned, I think it was earlier this week or late last week, that mentioned that it's like 24th anniversary of Pokemon Snap, and I sent it to Tim in the Discord, and he's like, "Oh man, I can't believe my rage is 24 years old."
Well, I
Oh,
liked it.
man. Alex, what are we getting for the homies, man?
I'm going.
What are we getting?
I'm going basic bitch. Jolt Cola with some Code Red Mountain Dew, a Blockbuster. I'm doing Goldeneye, and we're doing
Goldeneye.
Goldeneye, and it's very simple. No Golden Gun, no Jaws,
No odd job.
no Jaws, no
No
Odd
Odd Job.
Job. Yep. Slappers only mode for a few times.
I do. To move on to another question, real quick, from somebody named Wim Bembo. I'm not too sure who.
Oh,
he
the
is.
women bembin.
He'd like to know if you could say, "Forget about it," and I'm walking here.
All three of us, or just me?
Just this is just for you.
Forget about it. Hey, I'm walking here. Now, do you want me to do it as Tim impersonating me?
Oh, please, absolutely. I would love to have a sound
Let me
bite of
let
that.
me see if I can find it. Oh, hey there. Okay, forget about it. Hey, I'm walking here.
Oh, that's terrible.
The Wim Bembo also has another question. This is really for all of you. Where has better pizza, Chicago or New York?
Depends on what you want out of your pizza.
No. Not can't be diplomatic in this, Josh.
Chicago.
If you're
See,
It's
Becky.
Chicago. I just moved to St. Louis. The pizza here fucking sucks. It's awful. It's so bad. You know what happens when you get off of the plane in like Arizona? They go, "Hey, why don't you go to this place and get Chicago style pizza? You see it everywhere because it's the best."
See, I don't like
Fuck New
deep
York.
dish, so I would still have to go New York, even though they
No,
don't
no.
put
New York.
any sauce on their pizza.
Josh,
This is
there are
being
two
fun.
types of Chicago pizza. It is deep dish, or it is the thin, crisp crust and it's cut in squares. Those
Isn't
are
that
the
just
two.
pub style?
No, that is the Chicago style. that they've adopted
Okay, then
to
I
a
like
pub
that.
sub.
That's my choice.
Yeah, that's a Chicago OG. The triangles, that's no.
Yeah,
Alex,
well, I mean,
what's
like
your-
the New York style pizza is just a pizza that doesn't stay up on its own. It needs the blue
Yeah.
pillow
Yeah,
for you to fold it
Because
properly.
you're supposed to like fold it. Yeah, you fold it. and
Listen,
then put
I
the
like
pretzel in
them.
mine.
I like them stiff and thick.
Please, somebody snip that.
And then
gosh, I'll-
send it to me.
I got
so
you. I got you.
Send it
got
to me
you.
so I can
But
send
yes,
a text
yeah.
message
Yeah.
alert.
That's going to be one of our new sound bites.
But only for the boy I'm interested in at no time. Just put one
Alex.
per week.
Alex, please save me. Which pizza?
It's got to be Chicago style, and I am a firm believer that deep dish is fantastic, even if it technically is a casserole. But now that I have braces, and I will for the next while, and can't really bite into anything, the little rectangles, the little squares is perfect for me. I have been to New York, and I have had like 10 types of different New York style pizza. It's a fine walking food. It's not a meal.
Not no.
Last September or October, I was in New York. I was at a university around there. I forget what it was, but they brought in pizza for an event we were having, and it wasn't terrible. Like, it was New York style, but they actually, the only other time I had New York pizza, I was there in like 2006 for spring break, and we were like, oh, we got to get a New York slice, and it was just, it tasted like greasy cheese. Like, that's all it was. And then they're like, yeah, we just don't really put sauce on there. Like, we just put enough sauce that the cheese sticks. And then this last time there was enough sauce. Like, I like my sauce. I don't know.
I like a pizza with a light sauce on it. So, but that's just me. So we're gonna hop back over to Decaying with the Boys real quick.
Hi, Matt.
What's one fictional character you'd like to have coffee with?
Murtagh.
I'd like to point out I got like 40 questions here, so we're doing good.
I'm like, okay, I want to say something cool, but I'm really excited for his book to come out, and also he's the best.
No,
Murtagh.
this is yours. You don't have to say anything. Yeah, this is all you.
Everybody's gonna be like, the fuck did she say? Did she cough? What did Murtagh? Done.
Why would you like to have a conversation with Murtagh? Or Murtagh?
Because he's one, I can say his name a lot. Because Josh knows I'm a name pronouncer. I like saying people's full names too. So I'd say his name all the time. 2, he has a dragon. That'd be super fucking cool. 3, he's dark and brooding and probably emotionally unavailable. Sign me up. Let's go.
There we go. Easy coffee date, right? I'll tell you what, because he's muted right now. Alex, who we having coffee with?
I'm thinking.
He has to put himself on mute to think.
Oh yeah, because I start talking to myself.
Who we taking on? Who are we taking?
And you can't say Josh.
Well,
I'm not a
he's a
fictional
dream
character.
Oh, you are to me.
what if?
Well,
what
here,
if? What if
I'll
it's
turn on the dreamboat. There we go.
Yes, I love this.
What if it's Josh's fictional character that I make up whenever he misses a pod? Is that like we got the hard fighting Josh who attacks Ryan Reynolds fans, gets beat up by Packer fans in Illinois?
You know what? He might need some coffee in him. Sounds like he's doing a lot. You know. Sounds like he could use a coffee break.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go with Zambo from House of Leaves. Does anyone know what House of Leaves is?
No.
Okay, so it's a book that came out in late 90s, early 2000s by Mark Z. Danielewski. And his sister Poe, she's a singer. They kind of basically released a book and a companion album at the same time, and I was just obsessed with this book because they had custom typefaces. Like, so if a person was descending the stairs, the writing would actually start traveling down a staircase. If they were traveling down a spiral staircase, you actually had to turn the book to actually read it as it went through. Random words were put in colors. Everything was a citation. And what the story is about, this guy named Johnny Truant who moves in next door to this blind man named Zambo, who eventually passes away. And as he starts going through Zambo's stuff to clear out his apartment, he finds out that he wrote a book based off of a film he saw, and it's about Johnny trying to figure out if the film is real. Because a blind man is writing about a film he saw that is cited by like multiple people, and the book is filled with like citations with like where you can find this, like, you know, like, oh, this person reviewed it in like the New York Times on this day. Stephen King had talked about it on this page of this article on this day while promoting this book, and it's like, and it's a work of fiction. It's all fake, but as you're reading, you're like, you find yourself more and more just kind of like wondering, is this freaking real or not? And what the how the hell did Zampo get all this shit? And it just keeps going. And so yeah, I'd like to talk to Zampo for about 5 minutes before he died.
All right, fair enough.
Enough time for coffee.
Josh, who we getting coffee with?
So I'm trying to think of like the kind of conversation I would want to have, and like the fanboy answer in me would be Steve Rogers, just because Captain America is my favorite hero. I like the Boy Scout kind of tropey characters, but I think I really just, if I'm having a cup of coffee with someone and I just want to have a good conversation, I would want someone who's been on my podcast, like Becky, Beppo. All of us have bonded over just our love of nerd stuff. And the nerdiest person that's coming to mind for me right now is Kamala Khan, the current Miss Marvel. And I think she would probably be the most fun person to sit down and just nerd out about everything.
All right, very cool. Now, these next couple, sorry to do this to you, Alex and Becky, but they are just for Josh. And so I'm going to rapid fire these because they're all from Joey.
Literally, what I'm here for is to listen to Josh and stare at his hair.
These are all from Joey. So Joey would like to know, why are you so handsome?
Yes.
I don't know. I think that's more of a question for Becky to answer, I guess, since Ricky's not here.
Once upon a time, two very old people came together. Sorry, Josh, your parents are old.
It's true, they are. I was a whoops.
They are. They're old people. And they decided, you know what we have to do with this life? Create the nerdiest, I'm thinking about that rose, yet somehow most handsome nerd we could possibly make. Let's do this. Let's make this happen. Here's Josh. He's smart. He's super good at podcasting. He's got a great voice. This hair is giving me Flynn Rider vibes.
How's your ego, Josh? Is it riding high?
Oh, right I'm getting about as red as my shirt right now.
Ricky is literally the luckiest on earth.
Next thing Joey would like to know, because like I said, I'm gonna rapid fire his out real quick. Why does your British accent sound so Canadian?
Well, it's because the Wisconsinites are so close to the Canadian border that it just kind of blends together.
He'd also like to know, do you miss talking Lasso?
I do miss talking Lasso, and our unofficial co-host / #1 fan, Nick Arlt, is he's sent me like 3 or 4 emails since the final episode of Ted Lasso aired. Really? And yeah, he's waiting for us to do the recap episode, and that we promised. But timing is just a bitch right now for me. So
yes,
Nick, I am so sorry, but I promise Joey and I will find time to do a proper series wrap up and get to your manifesto of emails.
He'd also like to know, why is Joey your favorite of the Game Club pod? Which he made me read. It's not the worst thing he's got me reading here. I just want you to know that.
I mean, honestly, it's because I think he and I have the most in common when it comes to taste in games. I don't necessarily agree with like the love for Bloodborne, but I think he comes to a lot of stuff in the same perspective that I do, so I kind of tend to gravitate towards it. But also, there's the ego thing, where I think he was the first one to ever reach out to us on Twitter, and he had that unprompted in the very first Last Chance Awards to just take a moment and be like, oh, hey, Talking Smack, they're lovely people on Twitter, definitely check them out. And so I'm like, okay, this is the guy I want to get to know.
All right, well, that's pretty fair enough. And last thing he wants to know, which I hate that I have to read this, but I want to get this out of the way.
Sorry, Joey, no, I'm not leaving Ricky.
Why do you persist in humoring Slade with this cartoon fetish?
It's all content, man.
So he's referring to the anime episodes.
Yes.
Which we'll get into later.
And if my timing is correct, the day this episode comes out, in 2 days, there will be another anime episode coming out for Talking SMAC. So you can find out more about why I do this. But again, the main thing is content. And I just need more stuff to fill out the schedule.
But where's my Golden Girls podcast?
That's a spin-off, man.
I am down for that. I will do it.
Gotta wait for my spin-off.
Okay. We will.
I'm hoping to win the lottery tonight. If we win that lottery, I'm moving you back up to Illinois, and you guys can do a Golden Girls pod.
Okay, sounds good.
As long as it's the Golden Girls and Murder, She Wrote. We got to talk about both because they're fantastic.
Okay, I can do both.
And we're also starting a Let's Play that's going to open up with us playing Final Fantasy X too.
Yes.
All right.
And just having me describe the entire game.
To go from there, we can get everybody back encompassed, and we're gonna go talk back more about Talking SMAC as the podcast as a whole. But who is your absolute dream guest to have on the show?
Me.
You're a co-host, not a guest.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
This was submitted by editor Alex.
B.
Arthur's been dead for a long time, Becky. I'm sorry.
How'd you know I was gonna say that? Any one of the Golden Girls. Probably Estelle Getty would be my dream guest. I just want to talk to her about it. Or Betty White, because she'd make a lot of dirty jokes with me.
That's true.
Yep, okay. Betty White.
I'm going to stick with my Ms. Marvel trend. I think Aman Vellani would be a really fun get for us to just have her come on and just show us how much she owns Kevin Feige's nuts when it comes to continuity in the MCU. Because she literally, when they were filming Ms. Marvel, she was just rambling on about how certain aspects were conflicting with the continuity of the MCU. And then during press for it, she's the one who coined that the MCU is actually Universe 19999 or something like that instead of the 616, which 616 is the prime Marvel Comics universe. But in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they kept saying it was the 616 universe as an homage. But she's like, no, that's bullshit because now you're overtaking the comics. That's not happening. This is why you're Universe 19999.
All right. Alex, who you got?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
No, mind you, I think he would be down for it because he has done. I listened to his podcast called The Dark Dice, which is an actual play podcast, kind of like D&D thing, and they had him on for an in-between series where he played an elf. And midway through the first episode, he all of a sudden starts to sing a song, and so the DM has to give him levels of bard to back that up. And he was just a total joy, just went into it, did the series with them, having fun, just riffing. And I gotta ask him, can we please get renewed The World According to Jeff Goldblum? Because I loved that on Disney Plus, and Disney Plus tanked that shit when they did their content purge because they're assholes. I love that man.
All right. Fair enough.
Plus, I got a sexy Ian Malcolm statue somewhere in the house. You guys can find it.
And then we end the episode with just there it is.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna.
That's a Jurassic Park reference, Slade. Just so you know.
Thank you. I was gonna skip over it.
That would be scary.
I've not seen it. So we're gonna hop back over to Decaying with the Boys.
Hey, Matt.
They want you right now to reboot something and make him love it.
Oh, Aragon. Rebecca and I are right there. Yeah.
You took it. I was right there. Yeah. Fix Aragon. Turn it into a TV show because it needs to be a long, epic fantasy series and do it fucking justice.
Yeah, give it an HBO style budget. It can even probably succeed on half the budget of The Last of Us, and you can do a pretty good job with it.
Okay. Well, since they agree, Alex, what are we doing?
I gotta go back to my old faithful, the Dresden Files. That thing
Dresden Files.
was murdered on Sci-Fi Channel. It should have been on the proper series. They had a great host. Nick Cage was producing it because he loved the series. You could tell that they actually were invested in it. Sure, they did some things a little bit differently because they wanted to ground it a little bit more. Like, instead of Dresden having like his magic wand and stuff like that, he had a hockey stick, which was just fucking great. A wizard, modern day wizard walking around with a hockey stick is just fantastic. The series is fun. It would have done so well if it had just been on any other fucking channel than the horridness that is late odds Sci-Fi Channel and the misery bastardization that it is now.
Okay. We're going to stay with the game with the boys, by the way.
Hi, Matt.
And I kind of want to answer this one myself, to be honest.
Do it.
Because I have a small opinion on this. But what drink do you pair with the new Barbie movie, Oppenheimer, and The Sound of Freedom? So I have a small one on this, which, everybody knows I don't watch movies. But Tequila Sunrise for a Barbie movie, because it seems light and refreshing to go with it. Oppenheimer, because of the era that it's in, should be like a dry martini. Like an extra dry martini. And then Sound of Freedom should just be like whiskey. Keeping it very simple. What
As
drink
a
do you pair with each?
giant drinker, personally, and also somebody who just loves watching movies, I watch them all the time. I do not enjoy movies. Let's see. Barbie, I would do an espresso martini because it sounds kind of silly, but once you get into it, there's definitely some depth there, and when you are done with it, it's going to leave you with a good impression. If no one's watched Barbie yet, it'll leave you with an impression. Oppenheimer, I would do Beefeater Gimlet, and that's a little cocktail onions, which nobody has. And that would fit in with that era. And Sound of Freedom, I would do water, because you gotta pay attention. Can't be drunk for that shit.
Josh, what are we thinking?
I'm not much of a drinker, so my
The worst people.
my legitimate answer would probably just be gin and tonic across the board. But if I'm gonna answer this in a way that is actually interesting, I would probably say champagne for Barbie.
Oh yeah.
Oppenheimer, I think I'd stick to my gin and tonic, and then The Sound of Freedom, I would take a Xanax.
Yeah. A very good answer.
Alex, what do we got?
Electric lemonade for Barbie.
Okay.
Gotta have it fun. Gotta have a good bit of vodka in there with the blue curacao. Oppenheimer, keeping it classic. Doing an amaretto stone sour, but you gotta make sure that you actually you froth the egg white in there. The traditional style. You gotta do it like that. And for the Sound of Freedom, I'm thinking you gotta just do something. I'm gonna go Mike Ditka's Kick-Ass Bloody Mary. Because you got to get yourself fucking drunk to get through that thing.
I take mine back. Sound of Freedom, I'm going to go with Malort. You're going to get fucked up. Malort's worth it.
I'm
sorry, Slade. I just want to interrupt for a second because we're 32 minutes into this recording. I don't know what it's going to be after editing, but I just got a text from Lewis, and it says, "Ugh, sorry, shit got ahead of me." Frowny face emoji.
Okay.
This just sounds like another night with Lewis.
It really does.
I told you.
Might be more mysterious than me.
Yeah. I got another two real quick. I'd like to just throw at Josh, and then we'll get back to a round table. Josh, Fuck My Work Life has a question for you, and I think really anybody could answer this. Do you have a routine to calm yourself down after good old-fashioned Scar Wars?
Yeah, mock me. That's what he does.
No, I usually just go about my business depending on what it is, but I'll just still be a little fuming afterward. Or I'll look at Bo's face if Rebecca's around.
Look at Bo.
Look at that face. How could you stay mad during a Scar Wars with that face? Becky's known me longer than pretty much anyone else besides Matt. And I usually just stay fuming for quite a while.
Josh doesn't like to calm down. Josh feels that calm during the rage somehow. It fuels him into being a better person. It's fascinating to watch.
Alex, just make fun of you. Is that all we got to do? No.
No.
Or I can bust out. I can.
I was saying Josh makes fun of me and then calms down.
Oh. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, or I can bust out the Wisconsin accent, and then that calms me down too. That's my therapy.
You can't be mad when you're talking like Bob.
No, but it's also hard to turn it off.
We've been doing this trend lately of left-handed anger. So whatever, use your non-dominant hand. So if somebody wants at work, if somebody wants to throw a tool,
yes,
they have to use their non-dominant hand.
Left-handed anger. Left-handed anger.
Yeah, I love that.
It never works out. It's always funny.
Yeah.
I almost broke a door at GameStop because we had most everyone knows your numbers at GameStop are based on like how many your reservations you get and what your percentage is per transaction for reservations. I think 12% was the goal when Becky and I left, and there was one day where I was at like 15%. I was just cutting it, and then we had this one customer come in who he was either going to come in and pre-order 15 games or he was going to come in and cancel everything. And that motherfucker came in and canceled everything. Oh, no. And I ended the day at 0% because I had -3 reservations. And so I looked over, I think I was working with Scotty. I was like, I need to go in the back. And I just punched the door on my way back, and I left a dent in the top right corner of the door.
Oh, goodness gracious.
As the only girl among all the boys. Yeah, I never punched a wall, but they all did.
Everybody's got to get the little Kyle out of them occasionally, right? That's all it is.
I just cry.
That's a fair way to take it.
Yep.
Really is the best way I can tell. This is the last Josh-specific question. Dan from Casting Views would like to know.
Hi, Dan.
Do you have hopes for Aston Villa next season?
Let me find it again. Oh yeah, the Aston Villa, the Claret and Red. We got the best hopes out there. Top 6 going all the way to the Champions League.
I hope Dad gets the joke.
Well, the episode where that makes sense should have been out about 3 weeks ago or so.
That's true.
So, 4 weeks ago, because we're recording this like a month ahead of time.
Running back over to Wimbembo, he wants to know, what can DC do to bring its cinematic universe up to speed with Marvel?
Have a goddamn plan.
Yeah, seriously. Stop with the salaciousness. Oh my god. They're like, you know what would be super fucking cool? This thing that makes no sense. That's like that's DC. That's summed up.
Yeah, from what I have seen so far of Superman Legacy, which that's probably getting pushed like 2027 now with the strikes that are happening, it really feels like they're just kind of just going, we're not building up like Man of Steel kind of did for a somewhat of a slow burn, even though we went from, here's a universe with just Superman, and now there's Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman in the next movie. They're just going, this is a world where superheroes exist, they know each other, we're just going, because they've already confirmed Superman, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and a bunch of other people. That's not even including like Lex Luthor, who's probably going to be in this movie. So I like the idea of having a pre-established universe, but it is a slippery slope because people are going to be like, what? Who is this guy? Where did this come from? So it's going to be a fine line, but I'm very interested to see how they go about it.
Becky, Alex, do y'all have any thoughts on this, or do you just agree with Josh?
Fuck no, I don't agree with Josh.
They just need a better plan. Just say, for someone like me who like misses stuff, I'm in the gym getting my biceps on. I might miss a episode or a comic here and there. I am the person who's like, who the fuck is this guy, and why the fuck do I care about him? Like, I don't know. You're gonna have a lot more of me in the audience than you are of nerds.
Alex, what do we got here?
I honestly, my opinion is starting to be around the edge of that the age of superhero movies is tapered off. And DC, the best thing DC could do is to go into this with a revision of, let's make $100 million movies, let's have intermingling cast, ignore all the fucking stupid origin story shit, and let's just say, because at this time, I mean, look at Barbie. They didn't actually go into Barbie talking about her goddamn origin story. It was just, it's a world. It's been around for 50 years. DC's been around for 70 years and reboots every 25 minutes. Marvel did give us origin stories, but they were very generic. They were bland. They gave us TV shows and movies that were, you know, they had the name Civil War on it, but it didn't have anything to do with the actual goddamn comic Civil War. It was just a, like, hey, listen, they're gonna fight. It's a civil war. So just we don't need to see the pearls break for the 75th time. We don't need to see the little crypto pod for the 95,000th time. They're there, they exist, there's a Justice League, they've been together for a few years. Have their personalities shine through. Don't give us a Suicide Squad stupid, hey, this is, what's her name? Her katana steals souls, and a little on the bottom. They exist, they're real, they're there, move on with your fucking life.
I think that's a fantastic point. That's a fantastic point of skip the origin story. We all know it.
Right.
People aren't interested in it anymore. They want to see a good story.
Right. Just get on with the story itself. Hopping back up real quick to Decaying with the Boys again.
Hi, Matt.
Is the new season of Futurama worth it?
No.
I think we're two.
Did you guys watch it?
I haven't watched it.
Yesterday was episode 2. Yesterday was episode 2, and I forgot, so I haven't seen that episode. But the first episode back was an above-average version of what we got from the Comedy Central years.
Okay.
So it was like
I think
a season 1 in Comedy Central years, and now it's all going to go downhill.
The Comedy Central years were very up and down. Like Becky knows the chronology of all those episodes better than I do. But overall, I think it's better than a lot of the stuff I remember from the Comedy Central years. So at least one episode in, I'm okay with at least checking it out, especially since they're releasing it weekly. You can just drop off anytime you're not having fun.
Yeah. I'm just going to wait so I can binge watch it. That's what I want to do.
That's my plan. I was like, okay, I'm just going to wait till they're all out. So I'm going to start rewatching the original ones that I have after I'm done with Bob's Burgers, so next week. And then by the time I'm done, I should have a really good chunk to go through with the new ones. I just want to see. I want to know. I don't know.
Futurama and Scrubs are my comfort shows. I will always have a soft spot for them. Futurama literally got me through like one of the hardest times of my life, so I will never say it's bad in any circumstance, but there will be disappointing episodes.
I think I've watched through Futurama at least 5 times.
Those are noob numbers, Slade.
Amateur.
Noob numbers.
Josh and I are like twice a year, every year, and then I've watched through it twice since I moved to St. Louis because I don't have the internet, so I didn't have my TV.
And that was yesterday.
So I was like, yeah, truly. I was like, I'm just gonna watch Futurama again. So I have watched it so many times.
So the question is then when you watch it, are you watching the original run or are you watching with the DVD movie releases and the Comedy Central runs?
Yes.
Okay. What? Yes. 1, yes. 2, who's hosting it right now?
Hulu.
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am fairly certain I have at least watched the Hulu version once. Here's what happens for me. Somebody goes, hey, I pirated this for you because I know you like this show. It's a boy, it's always a boy. A boy goes, hey, you like this show? I pirated it for you. Here you go. And then that's the only version I'm ever allowed to watch. So then when I do watch the actual versions like on Hulu, I'm like, what is this? There's no weird thing in the bottom and it's not all stretched out and the colors are different? What the fuck? So the answer is the fucked up pirated versions are my favorite versions. But I do watch them from the very first episode to the very last episode.
Okay.
So whatever I got.
I still have the first 4 season DVD box sets hanging up in my DVD shelf. I'm surprised those things did not just get devoured in my Xbox watching those all the time.
Speaking of things from beginning to end, what's your favorite episode of Talking Smack?
Oh, that's like asking me to pick my favorite child.
Well, you have one.
Well, that's easy. It's me, clearly. Oh, you guys did adopt me, correct?
We're still processing the
discuss it
paperwork.
We'll talk about it.
It'll happen once the check from Video Game Club clears.
I am very expensive, incredibly so. Okay, my favorite episode, I know it, is the whatever the first one original that I did, because it was the first time I would ever at Josh's house, and we were set up on like a table.
Oh yeah, that was the Why of
Podcast.
Futurama.
It was a Futurama, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's an episode called The Why of Futurama.
So I know I'm on it, but that's my favorite because it's my favorite memory of you.
Oh,
There we go.
Cute.
I just want to find out what episode number that is for anyone who actually wants to go back and
19.
listen to that nonsense.
You post and you
19.
reposted it.
Alex, jeez, Alex.
The encyclopedia.
it's almost like I edit this shit.
It's almost like
Hey, you've edited like maybe the last 15 episodes. I edited the entire other. What are we at? 110 at this point. So
like
I edit.
that.
Yeah, I mean you'll have edited like nearly 25 or 30 at that point. So I've edited like the other 90.
I've done none.
Alex, do you have a favorite episode?
It's a tie. It's either the Mando season 3 with Katrina Dennis, which
Okay.
her insights into things just made me reconsider a lot of opinions and thoughts that I had, and then I will say I have to see, I think it was the Werewolf by Night and Hocus Pocus one that Josh and I did, just because we're both just similar opinions, like it existed, that was fun. And so we're just bullshitting. That's actually some of the, like, part of me really wants to say like the episode that actually comes out tomorrow when we're recording this is my favorite, because Josh and I just ran out of crap to say and just went loopy. We're recording late on a Sunday night and we just went fucking just complete slap happy crap of like, we're just bullshitting and I hope it's good.
Josh, have you decided?
I'm going to give an honorable mention to episode 22 because that's the episode we came back on, and that was actually intended to be a YouTube video because I had met someone who was a video editor and they were looking for something to build out their portfolio, and I had done a what if Frozen was actually a trilogy video, which is really bad because you can find out why I don't read off of scripts from that video. But it's called our favorite oh shit moments, where Beppo and I just talk about things from either our childhood or moments in cinema that just made us go like, damn, this is why I like movies, or this is why I like video games. But I'm going to say, in terms of the podcast, my favorite episode is probably episode 30, which is our Radiant Black and Supermassive interview episode. It's a 2-part episode where Matt and I talk about the comic Radiant Black, which is fantastic. If anyone's not reading it, I would strongly recommend it. And then the second half is I got to talk to the creative team behind Radiant Black, Rogue Sun, Supermassive, Infernal Girl Red. I got to talk to all 3 of those guys, Kyle Higgins, Ryan Parrott, Matt Groom, and their I think he's their editor, Michael Basudel. And that was a nerd dream come true for me. Kyle Higgins is a guy who I don't want to say I like idolize, but he's someone I really look up to. He's literally only like 15 days older than I am.
Right.
And he grew up 45 miles away from me. He grew up in like Elmhurst, Illinois. I grew up in Elgin, Illinois. They're like right next door to each other. And like his story about how he watched Power Rangers until his friends no longer watched Power Rangers, and he was still watching it, and his friends started making fun of him because he would sneak away to turn on the VCR to record today's episode of Power Rangers. Like, I did a lot of that same stuff, except my friends didn't make fun of me because they were like, we watch wrestling, so like we're not going to make fun of you for watching Power Rangers.
Yeah, this is a villain origin story if there ever was one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of his work, he's clearly got some demons, but I mean, it's entertaining as hell. But yeah, I just really respect Kyle Higgins, Ryan Parrott. Both of them had amazing runs on the Power Rangers comics. And Matt Groom has a Power Rangers podcast that developed into him having a relationship with these two guys. And they created this entire like gritty Power Rangers inspired universe of superheroes that's just awesome. And I love all these books, and just getting to talk to them was super cool.
Did I warn y'all, by the way? There's one question I have here on my list, and it only has one correct answer.
Oh.
42.
All others are wrong. Believe it or not, that's actually wrong. All right, I just want to make sure y'all are aware.
That can't be wrong. It's literally the answer to life, universe, and everything.
It's not, though. Speaking of decaying, of wrestling, Decaying with the Boys has a wrestling question for you.
Speaking of decaying, yes.
The Rock
We are all
versus
slowly
Stone
dying.
Cold. The Rock versus Stone Cold. Just debate it. Who wins?
Well, Stone Cold won.
Both of them in their prime.
Stone Cold
Stone
won
Cold.
2 out of 3 from their historic Super Bowl WrestleMania matches, so I'm going to say Stone Cold. It's wrestling Super
Where
Bowl.
are you? Super
I'm
Bowl.
a bad one.
Jesus. Stone Cold.
I'm going Stone Cold. Stone Cold pre the injuries in his prime.
Yes.
Had Stone Cold not dealt with so many back and neck injuries, he would have been able to linger around and actually probably would have been a more enduring figure than The Rock. The Rock would have moved on to movies. The Stone Cold would have stayed in the WWE and done a bunch of those shitty WWE movies like John Cena did.
He did
And
do a
does.
few of those.
Yeah, but they would have been better because he wouldn't have been like hobbled.
He wouldn't have been running around like Liam Neeson in Taken.
In Taken 3, yeah, 75 cuts to hop a fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would Stone Cold.
All right. Real quick. We're going to stay with Decaying with the Boys because I got 3 more questions.
Was that not the one question that has the one right answer?
Nope.
Oh.
No. We'll get there.
You made us all really nervous.
Good. I hope so. Linkin Park was voted best new metal band for the 2000s. You agree or not?
No.
No.
If no, who takes the crown?
No. No.
Just because it's just as absurd, I'm going to say Nickelback.
Yes.
No.
Hey, listen. I like Nickelback. I like them.
You and Scotty are like the only 2 people I know who actually like
Nickelback's fine.
Excuse
It's
me,
fine.
excuse
They're
me,
fine.
Josh. I love Nickelback.
Okay, I know 3 people who like Nickelback.
Their new album,
Yeah, he disagreed with us.
the new album is a banger.
You know,
Actually, it really is.
you remember,
Yes.
you remember when I
Keeps
said
me up.
there?
Get me the hell out of San Quentin.
Y'all remember when I said there's a question with like only one correct answer?
Yes.
Apparently, there's 2. I guess because Josh is the only one who doesn't like Nickelback for whatever reason.
You little missy in the man.
Oh, hey, we got a ghost coming in.
He's a... Ah! Oh, sorry! Yes!
Hi, Lewis.
You came in just in time to answer the question.
How much I suck? A lot, apparently.
No.
Wait. This is more important. Look at my dog. All right, back to podcasting.
Okay, Lewis. Here's a question for you. In 2000, not Nickelback. In 2000, Linkin Park was voted the best new metal band. Do you agree? If not, who is?
2000 Linkin Park?
Yeah, they were voted best new metal band.
Are we all on the same page?
I disagree.
Alien Ant Farm.
I disagree. Not really my genre, but I definitely disagree. Who would it be? I don't know, but it's not Linkin Park. No disrespect to Linkin Park.
No, all disrespect to Linkin Park. They do not deserve new metal title.
Like I said,
also-
they don't. I agree. They don't deserve new metal. No disrespect.
Can we say
to them.
Evanescence? How about Evanescence?
No,
Sure.
God, no. They had one good album, and then they kicked out their songwriter and they've just milked the goth audience since then.
When did
We,
Paramore become a thing?
That
Evanescence
was
is
like
new.
2008, and Paramore's
Oh,
not new
God.
metal.
Newfound
Yeah.
Glory? How about them?
Newfound Glory's
Hey,
probably.
I like Newfound Glory.
I'm not dissing them. I'm just saying if Linkin Park is metal in 2000, Newfound Glory
Yeah.
might as well be too.
They are.
I'm gonna
That
s-
does not fit.
I'll say either Nickelback or Korn. At least Korn is
Korn.
still
I'll
around.
give you
and
Korn.
actually still around. Or Orgy, but they only had like 3 albums and then they exploded.
I'll give you Korn.
Tool.
Nickelback never.
Tool is not new metal.
Tool's been around since before music was even a thing.
I never said
and
Tool.
did
I
anybody
said
see
corn, I
me
agree
thinking
with.
really
Alex
hard?
said
I was
Tool.
Like, what stupid
Oh.
thing can I say? I said Tool.
That was like a knife in my back, and I reacted appropriately.
I
Tool
do want to
is
try to
prog
reel it
rock.
in a bit. I do want to try to reel it in a bit because we still have 14 more questions to go.
Tool
Did I just get
is
here on time?
prog rock.
No.
You got
No,
here
there were
very
like
late.
45 questions.
45.
We've been recording for 53 minutes and 54 minutes now.
Holy crap.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wikipedia needs to be slapped because Vanilla Ice is listed as new metal.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
that's also.
you need to
Well,
stop.
that was me. I was on there when I was drunk. Sorry.
Yeah,
You need to
that's
stop, collaborate, and listen.
That's it, folks. That's all the time I have. I'm going to leave now.
See you in like a week, Lewis.
Ice is back with the new metal invention.
Oh.
All right, give us a question.
Here we go. Here,
Get Lewis in on
just
this.
just so Lewis knows, there's a question that hasn't been asked yet, and it only has one correct answer. All
We're all
other
really
answers are
nervous
wrong.
about it.
And it's not 42. You can try, but it's not the answer.
It's 47 in a row.
Ooh, very close, but no. Joey Fitz would like to know, how do you possibly keep up with all the latest in superheroes, movies, animation, and comics?
I'm being bad at my job.
I don't need to be here because I don't keep up anymore.
No, Lewis, me.
I have
we're on
literally
the same
become
team.
Talking Smack's like neutral party. I'm like,
No,
I'm
that's
the everyman.
me, that's my job.
Lewis, do you watch the thing? Uh-huh. What'd you think about it? Eh. So this is not my question. I pass it off
It's
to
fine.
Josh and Alex.
Yeah, so this
I mean,
is a Josh
I
and Alex
knew it.
versus Becky and Lewis thing.
There's no secret.
I get on Discord every once a month, maybe. Cry a little because it's very overwhelming. I just look for the channel. I read like
So now
2
I need to
things,
go
and then
grab
I'm all
that
caught up.
payment.
That's how I do it.
All right. I guess this really is for Josh. How do y'all say? Because there's way too much media going on in like all of that. There's way too much.
I'm the dude who posts the social media shit. Half of my day is not spent at work. It's actually spent on like 17 different websites, and I pick the best shit and I post it.
Twitter, Instagram, now Threads, Facebook.
The Twitter
guys got it
algorithm
yet?
was a big help because when that was properly curated, that made life really easy. Because like, I could open the app and see nothing, and then refresh, and then all of a sudden I see ugly Sonic, and I'm like, oh my god, my day is ruined.
Because he got me as a friend. That's my fault.
Probably true.
Yeah, more than likely. To hop back up real quick to Decaying with the Boys.
Hi, Matt.
What is a horror franchise that gets crapped on, but it needs to be seen?
Josh doesn't do horror. He can't answer this one.
Anybody got an answer for this? Because I don't do movies.
I'm also not the horror guy, but I'm gonna piggyback off the wife, and she would say Halloween for sure.
That's inappropriate to say, Lewis. We don't even know what you do.
Watching X-Files with the lights on.
That's my fault. That's my fault.
Wait,
That was my
you
fault.
get piggyback rides at home? I changed my
Never
mind.
said
I do
piggyback
want to
at
get
all.
married.
But we are married.
Wait, that's what we're talking about, right? You guys.
If no one has an answer for this, I will continue on.
Oh,
because
no,
I
I'm
said
trying to get
Halloween.
I have an
I said
answer. I'm waiting for
Halloween.
Becky and Lewis.
Halloween
What
from
happened?
I'm
Lewis.
with Lewis. I only watched Halloween because it was on. Wait, what was the TV? That was whatever channel had movies before it became Walking Dead nonsense. What was that?
AMC.
TNT? AMC. We watched it. They were terrifying. That's all I got for horror. Can't do it.
I thought you were going to say Turner Classic Movies. I'm like, okay.
I'm not that old.
Hold on. Time out. Is Becky on? Or
What?
where? Is Becky? What?
Alex. What's your answer?
I don't know. I mean, I want to say the Saw movies, but they're just so shit.
And
So
yet
this-
they're still making a new one.
After the
I know,
first
and
two.
It's nostalgia bait.
I'm excited for it. That's the sad part. is I know they're
nostalgia.
crap. The first one was low budget thriller, is actually good. The second one leaned a little into it. The third one, they're like Eli Roth doing some weird shit with torture porn. We got to go in this. They realized they killed the best part of the franchise. I think 4 through 7. They're like, crap. We're gonna backtrack all this crap. We're gonna place it during the third movie, before the second movie. This newest movie, the 10th one, is a prequel. And yet Tobin Bell continues to age. I don't know.
I would say it's not. I don't know if I would say it's a horror movie or a horror franchise, but I would say at least the first 2 Cloverfield movies. They're maybe more thriller based than horror, but
Yeah.
I think the first Cloverfield is genuinely good in a fun, stupid kind of way, and then 10 Cloverfield Lane ends kind of on a stupid note, but for 98% of that movie, it's really good, really tense.
Okay. Last one from the gang with the boys. You've made it through all 10 of theirs that they had alone. Mash up your favorite comic artist and favorite writer. What do you get for a new saga?
No, this is not a question for me. I'm out of the loop. Who wrote Archie comics?
Dave Archie. I don't know.
Everyone.
That's not right. I was like, wait, what? I'm gonna have to Google that if somebody knows it off the top of their head.
I love
Apparently, Lewis can't hear Becky.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
She does
he
not.
can't.
She does not appear.
That's weird.
At
Try
all.
backing out, Lewis, and come back in.
All right,
That's what she said.
So, if you had the
Now that Lewis is gone, let's talk about him. Just kidding.
I got one.
Okay, what you got, Alex?
So I really like James Tinian the Fourth. He is doing Something's Killing Children, which is I adore that franchise, right? That series right now. I love what he's done with it. The characters, the world is created. I'm really hoping that I think Netflix bought the rights to it, doesn't screw it up. They will. He's done some interesting stuff with Batman that Josh pointed me to. I think he's
Welcome back, Lewis.
I think he's just an amazing writer, and I would like to see what he could do with Amanda Conner. I love Amanda Conner's humor. I love her art style. I don't particularly fully love her writing, though she did lean into the whole Harley Quinn during her Harley Quinn run, that her and Poison Ivy are in fact a couple and in love, and I think she tactfully handled a lot of the whole poor influence that a lot of people have leaned for, that Harley's kind of a victim in the whole Harley Joker relationship. I think she leaned into it well without making it overly wrought, that Harley is still actually a psychopath. And so I would like to see what her art style, because she does, I think what I love about her is that she has more than 2 faces. A lot of artists, if you look at them, they have like one good male face and then every other guy looks the same, or they have maybe 1.5 female faces and then everything looks the same. She does facial expressions well. She does their emotion. She actually gives every character a defined look that is
Right.
not just a hair color palette swap. I'd like to see her with the grittiness and the exploration of the human psyche that James T. and the Fourth has. That's what I would like to see, what they would come up with for something.
All right. Josh, what you got?
Can you repeat the question? I was texting Lewis while we were on this call. Lewis, can you see Becky, by the way?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay.
I see her
Okay.
dog as
Hi,
well.
Bo.
Basically, you get to mix one artist and one author. Who are you combining?
So,
Sorry.
are we talking
Fusion.
team up, or are we
So,
literally making like a hybrid person?
So
artist?
so they do a team up. What's the new, like, what is your ideal team up between the two?
Okay. I'm gonna go with. I haven't read anything from her in a while. Last thing I read from her was a comic called Bitch Planet. But Kelly Sue DeConnick is a really, really fun writer. She's also married to Matt Fraction, who wrote the classic Hawkeye comic that the Disney Plus series was based on. But Kelly Sue is the person who basically helped remake Carol Danvers into who she is now in the comics as well as in the movies. And Bitch Planet is a fantastic piece of pro-feminism art, and I would love to see her do anything with like a female protagonist, especially if it's in the like Massive verse Radiant Black Rogue Sun kind of world where they get to morph and it's morphin' time kind of stuff. Just see what she can do in that kind of universe. And for art, my favorite comic book artist is Mark Bagley. I just like post 2000s Ultimate Spider-Man because there's some like lingering stuff that he does with like the teenage body that is not really kosher in a modern mindset, but I like the way, kind of similar to what Alex was saying about Amanda Connor. I like the faces he draws. They're unique to each character, and you can tell who is who. And I think having him with his ability to draw action shots, as well as really what Kelly Sue DeConnick does with her writing, I think it'd be really interesting to see what they could come up with in a Power Rangers style universe that is also gritty.
Alrighty. Lewis, do you have any thoughts on this, or do you want me to go? No? Okay.
No, not really. Again, this is... Yeah, it's over-nerding for me.
Really quickly, I will say to Alex's point about the Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, Harley Quinn run, that was like one of the few good things born out of the New 52. If you like the Harley Quinn show that's on HBO Max, whatever the hell it's called now, you can pretty much thank that entire show's existence to that run. And if you want to read something that is very Harley Quinn centric, obviously, but is reminiscent of the Harley Quinn show, look up that, I think it's like 2011 Harley Quinn run, or maybe, no, it would have been 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. But yeah, look up that run with Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti.
All right. Guys, we only have 4 more people submitted questions, and then we actually get in the mind, believe it or not. We're rolling with this.
How
Wembembo,
popular are we?
Very, apparently.
It's
That's-
popular.
that's a
No,
good
it's
sign.
mostly Josh. Let's be honest.
They need to go
Josh.
back and listen to our Star Trek episode, please, and the Magician's Elephant.
Wembembo, his last question, would like to know
Ader.
how do you feel about the state of accessibility for new and existing comic book readers?
Oh. Like
It's
accessibility
muddy.
as in digital format, or...
I think it's just like on kind of on. I hear that more as like onboarding. Jesus, Bo, Rebecca, I'm gonna mute you.
Yep.
Bo's getting vicious.
Doggy's bored.
I interpret that question as like, love me, Mom, love me.
Yeah. Bo is feisty. Might need to go outside for a bit.
I read it more as like accessibility, as in, I want to read the new Spider-Man. There's a new #1 coming out. I should hop on. It depends on what you want to read. Especially with Marvel, they try to renumber to #1, and then they have legacy numbers now.
That's kind of cool.
Where no, it's stupid because they're like, oh hey, this is a new writing team, so you can hop on board and know nothing. But with this most recent new #1,
Yeah.
you need to know that Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin, no longer is the Green Goblin. He got shot by a guy who had a magic shotgun that forgave his sins and ate his sins. I think his name was called the Sin Eater. He was a resurrected version of a guy who just had a shotgun, and then for this most recent run, they just decided it's a magic shotgun that eats sins. You have to know what a Hellmouth is, which is when hell comes to Earth in like a weird portal merging. So like, it's a weird mix of, you don't know what the hell is happening. You just have to be able to go along for the ride. So
It
it's
sounds like Catholicism.
Wait.
Am I wrong?
it's
wait.
more Scientology. But, we don't talk about that anymore.
That actually sounds exactly like Buffy. Are you telling me that Buffy exists in the Marvel universe? That the Hellmouth is Buffy, an angel coming to save Spider-Man?
I'd like to point off this tangent. Just to me, says that accessibility to comic books is still very complicated.
It is. You basically you can jump on with new writing teams, but you're still going to be lost on certain things. Like for anyone who wants to get into like a Nightwing comic, I would say start with the Tom Taylor run. It pretty much starts with a clean slate. The only thing you really need to know is Alfred died, and
Spoilers.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Jesus.
There have been like 3 Robins. It's largely inconsequential. The only thing that happens with that run is that like Dick becomes a billionaire, and he and Batgirl have had previous relationships.
Okay.
Yes, Lewis.
Absolute casual plebe comic reader over here, but that run you're talking about with Nightwing, does that start as a number 1, or do I have to pick up issue?
No, DC does not renumber like Marvel
Okay.
does. They don't do
So
the legacy numbers. So like I think that one starts at like issue 79 or 81.
So
that's like that.
that's where I like the accessibility thing of them renumbering back to number 1, because I don't give a fuck about the past or whatever. You give me a number 1 fresh slate, cool, great. I'm gonna start on that. Just it's no different than like, oh hey, it's the new run of the Turtles. You know, Gen, what are we on, 7 now? By the way, saw a movie today. Fantastic. Go see it.
Don't say anything. I see it tomorrow.
I didn't say. I just said it's fantastic. Go see it. Good lord,
I don't
Josh.
want no.
Spoiler alert!
The movie's horrible. Don't go see it. There, better. Anyway,
Good job.
No, I don't know where you're coming from. Perfect.
Josh, please mute Lewis. He's spoilers.
said the guy. Well, the guy who said that Alfred died. That wasn't me. Anyway,
That was Josh, not me.
that's why I
I
paused
don't
and
think
corrected.
so, Alex. Lewis said it was Alex, so therefore it is Alex.
But in
Consensus.
any case, like I like that part of the accessibility, and then the other part where I come off with better accessibility is, I guess, the digital comic stuff, which is cool. Though even though I'm a stupid plebe, I still prefer physical. Though I did like I do like the fact that with digital, if I want to play catch up, you know what? I don't care about throwing away practically the same amount, which is stupid, the same amount of money you would spend on an actual physical comic book, and just like purchase each individual comic, or pirate, whatever comes first.
Excuse you.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know. Yeah, it just came. It just came from me. The family's been sick, but I do like the digital aspect of it for just like playing catch up, and like I really don't care, but I would like to be the know and whatever. But if you want to collect, the books are still where it's at, and I like the renumbering system. I think it's genius.
In all honesty, if you did want to jump in for accessibility and you had questions, you can join our Discord. You can go into the comics section of our Discord.
Look at that.
And if you have a question,
no,
That's
Matt,
more confusing than the comics.
that's
if you go into our
No.
Discord and you go into the comics
No.
section, you're like, hey Matt, I'm reading this comic.
Okay.
I'm confused by this thing that
Okay.
happened. Matt will give you an essay that is
that's
shorter
the
than
problem.
a Wikipedia page.
That's the problem. Don't
It's
go.
still shorter
Don't
than the Wikipedia
Don't go to
page.
Matt, but just go to Discord and just
you go to
ask.
Matt because Matt
We're
knows.
just gonna give him his own. We're gonna start giving out his phone number.
Yeah, right. At this point, because
It's been the same phone number since high school. I
Yikes.
still know it by heart.
Yeah.
So
Moving. Oh, go ahead, Alex. Do you have an answer to this as well?
So yes, my answer would be it's in a terrible position. It's not like when Now, Becky, I do understand that you're quite young, being and that apparently the '90s you weren't alive during them, but back in the day you used to be able to just
It doesn't count.
go down to 7-Eleven and you used to be able to pick up. They had rows in a gas station of just comics. Those don't exist anymore.
Yeah, I
They
remember
used to
that.
be, Archie. I used to buy an Archie every time that I would go to the store with my mom. I'd see the new Archie. I would pick up like the new Archie or the Betty and Veronica. My mom tried to give back to me a few years back my collection of Archie comics, but they had been stored on my grandpa's farm in the barn. They were
The
molded.
humidity got to it. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's not
But
a
no,
good place.
to your
No.
point,
I
I used to go to Eckerd's, which is like a Walgreens down south for a long ass time ago. That's where I get my comics
Yeah.
before I had a comic shop nearby. But yeah, good bring up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
now-
the only place I ever even saw comics. I didn't even know what they were because it was we were girls and my brother's super effeminate. Even though he's not now, but he was. He didn't care about any of that stuff. But grocery store, Archie Comics,
Yeah.
and like the Garfield Fat Cat 3-pack.
Oh yeah.
I like
love
the
those.
style.
I still have those.
And I like the funny paper, like on Sundays. Like I always wanted the comic section, but I didn't like put those two things together until I got a little bit older and then had friends who were nerds.
Yeah.
But even at that time, I was like, "What's going on? Wait, who? Where do I have to start? Like there are different what? Who? This guy wrote this, but this guy wrote this. Like, I don't know. Isn't it just Archie all the time? Just Archie? Like, isn't that how
Archie's
it
a
works?
real person who writes his own stories.
It is confusing.
His name is Archie.
Dave Archie is what we said.
Dave Archie. That's what I named him.
Dave Archie is what we said.
So I would say,
Yeah, the first batch of comics I ever bought was from the Piggly Wiggly. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I got it. You got to say it the right way. The Piggly Wiggly.
It's just the pig. It's just the pig.
The Pigwig.
You gotta add a "don't you know" after that.
We
So-
just call it the pig here.
The pigs.
The pig.
We lost our Piggly Wiggly over here, and that was a sad day.
Weird. I'm gonna try to rein us back in. Alex, real quick, while I have everybody.
Alex, Slade, do they have Texas donuts at your Piggly Wiggly?
No.
Gosh.
Oh, that's unfortunate. They're massive donuts. They're like that big.
Gosh.
it's almost as big as
I'm
their
sorry,
toys.
but
Yeah,
the Texas donut is part of my childhood. My dad would take me to church, and then he would take me to the Piggly Wiggly, and I'd get a Texas donut.
Aw.
Isn't that the
that's
point of
cute.
this Between Two Pods, though, is to share a little bit of insight into our past?
So Alex,
And donuts?
And just as a side note, my password to everything is not Texas donut, just so everyone knows.
It's Texas
It
Donut
is
1,
Donut.
Alex,
but
God.
not spelled how you think it is.
steamroll.
And a Y, and you don't know where.
Not where you
I think us getting
think.
access to Alex's answer is as hard as it is to get into comic books. All right,
Right.
I think that's
So-
the metaphor.
Right.
It is.
But anyway,
Just
Josh.
join our Discord, like I said.
God damn it. So basically,
Oh.
there's not a good place to go unless you find a comic book shop, which is now mostly in Magic the Gathering shops and stuff like that, or something like that. You would have to try to find them, and even then, they might not have them. To me, accessibility is probably going to be trade paperbacks. You're going to have to find something that is a collection of volume 1 through 5, and that way you actually get a taste for what the author does. Because of the way comics are still written these days, where every damn thing must end on a cliffhanger, and you only get resolution every 5th, 10th, or 15th comic. If you want to understand something, those trade paperbacks, they're normally $12 to $16. You can get you get 5 volumes, and you can start getting into something. That's actually how, I know I mentioned it, but I love Something Is Killing the Children. It came up as like, because you bought Harley Quinn, volume 5, would you like this? I'm like, I'll try it. And I fell in love with it. That is where you're going to have to go. You're going to have to go with a recommendation like the Talking SMAC Discord, or you're going to have to look for something where it's just like, you have to be comfortable being behind.
Right.
Because finding individual volumes month to month is just so difficult these days, unless you are buying it either directly from the studio or or the Comixology digital delivery or something like that. Just be comfortable being a little behind, picking up the trade volumes, and when the story goes somewhere you don't like it, or the artwork changes, because I've read most of the hack and slash comics, which I love those. But the artwork can change panel to fucking panel sometimes, depending on the artist dropping in or out.
Yep.
So just pick it up and drop it when you're done. Drop it when it gets to a part of the story you don't like. Maybe you don't dig the artwork anymore. Maybe you see the written by change.
Yes, Alex. Sorry. Yes, Josh.
I would also, to add on to Alex's point, you don't have to go with the big two. You don't have to go with DC or Marvel. Find some good indie stuff.
IDW.
Like I said, IDW, Image, Boom, they all have really good stuff. I'm trying to think of the name of there's a comic company that Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor helped co-found that I'm blanking on right now. But they helped found a comic shop or a comic publisher in like 2015, 2016. And one of the best comics that came out of that publishing house was a comic called Axe Murder in New York, and it's like a Jason Voorhees stand-in, but
Right.
He's an enigma, and he's basically a stand-in for any kind of enigmatic global catastrophe happening right now. But like the main premise is there's a guy with an axe running around New York, looks kind of like Jason Voorhees. It could be an allegory for global warming, but the premise of the idea is that the world has just kind of come to accept that this guy's going to murder someone every night, and they're just like, hope it's not me, gonna go out and do whatever, not gonna wear my mask, not gonna worry about carbon emissions, not gonna worry about recycling, and hopefully I'm not the one that keels over today.
gonna say, also, if you wanted to get into this, just start reading manga. It's easy.
I was about to
Pick up
get to
chapter-
my
pick up-
boy.
pick up-
Yeah.
Pick up volume 1 and then run from there. You don't have to go through the nonsense.
I'm about to
Just
say
grab
the
volume
same
1.
thing. This is why I stick to manga. Just look for one. Just go.
Just stick to manga. It's way, it actually made me delete one of my questions, which was why are comic books really fucking complicated compared to manga?
Doesn't matter if it's 20.
Okay,
It doesn't matter if it's 20 books or 2,000 books.
No,
You at least know what direction
I'm
you're
sorry.
going.
No, I'm sorry.
Alex disagrees.
And he's wrong.
I'm gonna go take a bathroom break while you guys read out about
I
this
mean-
shit.
I mean, if you want to start reading Chainsaw Man, I'll get you volume 1 off the shelf.
Oh, no.
Preach it,
okay,
brother.
Okay, no. Okay.
I'll grab it through my monitor.
No,
Thanks.
no.
Slade.
There's a series I love called Konosuba. But
yes.
trying to understand how to read that is damn near impossible. Because do you read the manga? Do you read the lit? Do you read which series of the lit do you do?
You pick
It is
one.
not as easy. No,
pick
it's not you
one.
pick one because it's the continuity of the anime or the anime movies, maybe pulling from all the sources. you don't just
Josh wants to
pick
go pee, but
one.
he's too entertained. I want to point this out.
You don't just pick
I mean,
one.
I could walk away. I have Bluetooth headphones on, so I
You
can just walk
pick.
away.
You
with my
pick
headphones
one. That's the answer. It doesn't matter.
No, it's not you. No, because, okay, where do I start with One Piece?
Volume 1!
Volume 1 of 55,000.
Yeah.
Yes, number one.
Exactly how it works.
Wait,
No,
that's-
okay,
There's
fine.
no-
if that is your
there's-
answer, if that's your answer, then let's just start with Batman Volume 1, 1938.
Yeah, it's way,
Yeah,
no,
but-
but you always hear,
That's how it should work, but it doesn't work that
Yes.
way,
Mhm.
and that's why comics are so fucking
Yeah.
complicated because
Manga is the-
it doesn't matter.
Manga's
Or
the
if
exact
you're
same
really,
way.
No, it
really
doesn't.
into
It's-
it and you like your character, all of a sudden the character is different. I personally hate
Exactly.
that. That's like concerts. I don't want to hear the live version of your song. I want to hear the version of the song that I know and that I like. And that same thing, I like this version of Batman. Why is it now suddenly some other fucking guy? I hate
And they
that.
don't. And,
That is
and
my
if they were to
least favorite
title it
thing.
something like Spider-Man, for example, there's the Amazing Spider-Man, the whatever Spider-Man, this and that Spider-Man. Like,
Oh
okay,
my
at least
God.
you know. But at least you know what like generation
Yes.
you're going into. But like some comics, like
Yes.
Batman, it's just Batman. Oh look, it's number 1 again for the 80th time. Okay, like.
And then you're like, who the hell's Dick? And what's Barbara doing? And what the fuck? Yeah, no, very confusing.
Yep.
But One Piece is always One Piece. You
Yeah,
start
high
at
five. I don't know.
one,
I don't know
doesn't
where you guys
matter.
are on the camera, but high
the
five.
weebs,
Yeah.
the weebs win
The
again.
weebs take
That's
it.
all. The weebs take it.
I'm sorry.
And fuck you, Josh, for no reason.
I would
For no reason.
For
much,
no reason.
Or the raisins?
Josh,
You know
since
what?
you're-
You know what? You could just solve this whole problem. Make your own fucking superheroes. There you go.
Josh, since you're back from the bathroom,
Webtoon.
Yes.
are you ready for the question that has only one correct answer?
No, I want to know
42.
first, did he wash his hands?
We're not
He
gonna
did. They have nice soap.
Okay.
Do you pee in the shower?
Yes.
Yeah.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
See, you either do or
No.
you're a liar.
Was that
There's
was that
nothing in
directed
between.
just to Josh, or was that for everyone to answer?
All,
No.
everybody,
Okay.
everybody.
That's everybody.
Okay, I'm a girl.
I also brush my teeth in the shower.
That could have something to do with it. 2, stop peeing in the shower. It's horrible for your pelvic floor. There's a whole thing about it. But don't do that.
You either pee in the shower or you're a liar. It's very simple.
I
I cannot do that.
I pee in the shower in the most extreme circumstances. I've maybe done it maybe 6 times my whole life.
I love the fact that there's an extreme.
Well, yeah, it's like
circumstance.
shit.
I
It's like
will-
shit. I forgot to
I
go.
will literally.
Well,
I will wipe off my body and get out of the shower to pee, and then get back
you can
in
do
the
you can do a
shower.
little, you can
That
do a
is-
little squat. You
so
can do a little
gross.
Why
squat.
don't you just,
Squat.
why don't you just
No.
squat?
No,
Oh,
Did
man.
you realize it's all one pipe, right? It goes all to the same place?
no.
Yeah, it really does.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. I don't want to be standing in my own pee even for 2 seconds.
You're not
backed
standing
up
your
is
own
your-
pee. You're
how
peeing
backed up is your
at the
shower?
drain. If anything,
It's not.
if you don't pee
Well,
in the
actually, this shower, it would not be great. It would take a second to go down.
Yeah, that's a little
So-
gross.
Ew.
That's a little gross then.
So,
And I don't want to smell it. Ew.
so moving
How
on.
can you smell it? You're covered in fragrant perfume and hot water.
I got
Uh,
2 more
how
guest
Hold on,
Sneaky
Alex.
is
Hold
your
on, Alex.
pee.
Alex. That's not how that works.
No, that's not how it works at all.
Hey, I pee in the shower regularly and I don't smell it.
I don't smell it either.
Lewis became that old lady from that Facebook post. I unfriend you.
I want to know how much asparagus you're eating that you smell yourself.
That's
in
what
the
I was.
shower.
That's what I was thinking of too. Yeah. Like, hold up. How much veggies?
So-
I don't even want to approach it. Ugh.
This is really kind of an open invitation to all of you. But next time y'all get to come on, what are we playing for the game club?
Wait a
How to
second.
not pee in the shower.
Wait a second.
Never heard
Slade,
of the
you
game.
didn't answer. Do you pee in the shower?
Yeah, because I said you either pee in the shower or you're a liar, and
Oh,
my
okay.
mom didn't
All
raise a liar.
I do that.
I can't tell you how many times.
I cannot. It's so weird.
I cannot tell y'all how many times I've been like too drunk to like try to get into the toilet itself, and I've just pissed into the shower.
That
Oh my
I'm the
god.
mo-
Okay,
I'm-
that's weird.
I'm the
That
most
is weird.
I'm the most boring, soberest guy you guys will ever know, and that I've never have had that issue. But
That's made
That
Alex walk away.
I
Well, I'm getting water. I'm not.
so I don't know if this is the right answer or not for you, Slade. But like, I try not to pee in the shower, and the few times I've done it, it's like
but you do. See, that's the thing.
I
to get
don't
back on track.
do pee in the shower. I just choose not to, and it's happened in emergencies. I don't even call it emergency, but you know what I mean.
Slade, I would like to take the opportunity to try and answer everyone else's
Sure.
question, and then I would like to see if they could answer for me. I'd like to
Okay.
flip this a little bit. So, Lewis, he'll come on for Street Fighter 6.
Right.
Becky will come on for Final Fantasy X too.
Right.
Ooh.
Alex is a little trickier, but I'm going to say he's going to come on for Maneater.
Oh yeah, I'll come on for that.
Okay.
I'm down.
And Josh, what are we having you back on for?
Lewis, what do you think?
For you?
Sonic.
I don't know.
Yeah, what game do you think I would play for the
Put
game
a
club?
put a
to be
Mass
on as a
Effect
guest?
1 or through 3 in, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Not wrong. Becky?
And I was like, my go-to would have been Mass Effect.
I win. Is there a prize?
I
No.
am leaning more towards either Spider-Man 2 or the Miles Morales one. That's what I would think.
Like,
I could do any of those. The game club already did Portal 2, which would have been my next one. The next one I'm pushing for is Halo Reach whenever they decide to do that one.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't see that in
I'm
you.
haloed out.
Yeah.
I'm haloed out.
I didn't see that in you.
I spiked an Xbox controller playing Halo Combat Evolved.
Jo-
I'm good.
Josh, you have such a hard on for Mass Effect. How the fuck have you not like considered?
Halo Reach I can beat in like 20 hours. Mass Effect I'm going to take like every pathway I can, and it's going to take me 45, 50 hours.
There's 40,
and I
there's
don't wanna take
45,
that much
50
time.
episodes
I
with
don't have
them.
40, 50
Episodes.
I don't have
Perfect.
40 to 50 hours for anything.
That's like a year's
anymore.
worth of content for them, and they're not even paying you. Like,
This is. I have my last.
Well, the check is here. I have it. It's just it hasn't cleared yet through the mobile deposit.
I have my last guest question, which is from Sir Joey Fitz himself. But in the medium versus long term, what do you see for Talking Smack? What direction are y'all wanting to take the podcast?
I just
Oh, man, if I win
I
the
just
lottery
tag
tonight-
along, so I'm out.
If I
Yeah,
win the
me
lottery
and Lewis
tonight,
Are
everyone's
heavy
getting.
supporters.
If I win the lottery tonight, everyone's getting a full-time job at Talking Smack Studios, and Lewis and Beppo are going to be doing a web comic. Matt's going to be
Yeah.
doing like web reviews, blog reviews, whatever you want to call it, like actual written
I mean,
reviews
I'll
of comics. and
I'll
everything.
art for you guys, but I don't know if it's a comic.
Alex gets to have his own movie podcast with Justin. Becky, Scotty, and I are going to do Let's Plays with occasional guests. Alex, Lewis, Matt, everyone. But really, the podcast wouldn't change too much. I like the content that we're making. I would like to have an actual studio space so I could be a little more boisterous and a little more like animated in the way I want to be, but because I
Right.
record at home through a very thin wall with my wife that way and my kids that way, I can't really be as like animated, bump my mic, as I would like to be. So like every now and then when you're like, God, this guy's just so monotone and boring, like a lot of other things will come out if I get a little bit more space to be a little more.
Not really. Your monotone just gets louder. That's all.
That's true, but at least it's a little more animated.
I like Josh's voice. I think it's particularly suited for podcasts.
Oh, it is 100%.
Yeah, he's
Our
got a good
best
mic
one of our
voice.
best one of our best podcast friends, Justin, said I sounded like Jimmy Fallon, and I wanted to punch him.
I mean,
I'm not gonna be able to unhear
I'm
that.
not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't
not gonna
know.
You sound,
I don't
you
hear
sound
myself.
more manly than he does.
Thank you.
He has like a kind of effeminate thing to him.
He's
which
also
is fine,
extraordinarily
but,
fake.
Yeah, you're just good at podcasting.
I'm me.
You have a good voice.
Well,
What I want for your podcast channel is me and you have our own show, and it's you explaining Star Wars to me, and me
Never getting it.
just refusing, asking every question, like watching SpongeBob. Why is there fire underwater? That's the chaos that would be in
That is-
that show.
That
One's
is
called
literally-
Becky Gaslights Star Wars. No, Becky Gaslights Scar Wars.
if it
Star
makes you feel
Wars.
better, I watched my first Star Wars movie recently.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
can- we
this is
can-
how I watch Star Wars.
We can talk about it.
That's
because
me.
Tim got-
That's me in Lord of the Rings.
yeah. Oh, I haven't done.
Oh.
My other half said we have to watch the extended version.
Don't do
I
it.
haven't
No,
done
I'm
it
not-
yet.
God, don't do it. Don't.
Fell
No.
asleep during
No.
every single
No.
one.
Original theatrical release.
I'm-
You're gonna sleep through Fellowship. The other two are alright.
Yep.
I'm not implying
Yeah.
Becky's ex is a Nazi, but he reminded me of Rolf from The Sound of Music. And just imagine having that bland, blonde, generically handsome dude explaining
Wow.
to you, this is why Star Wars is cool, this is why this is happening, and just not letting you experience the movie.
Yep.
Actually, exactly what it was. See, now this part, it should be better, but and then this part, well, this part's not that great. This part's not that great, but what they were trying to do was great. This
Oh.
character should have been like this, and I was sitting there like, can I just watch this movie,
Yeah.
or can we make out what's happening?
Neither is happening.
You can't make out Star Wars is on.
That's exactly what I got. Star Wars is on. Oh, all right.
Guys, we have good news. We're through all the questions that were submitted. So once again, big thank you to Dan from Casting Views. Fuck
Hi,
my
Dan.
work life.
Hi, J&K.
Thanks. Josh throwing me off. Editor Alex. Thank you
Hi,
to
Alex.
Tim, Joey, and Decaying with the Boys.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Tim, Joey.
So now it's my turn for questions.
Ooh.
Hi, Slade.
Hello. Real quick, to soft royal into this real quick, is there any indie pods you'd like to give a quick shout out to?
Yes,
Oh, man.
but I can't.
I mean, you
think
just
of the
rattled
name
off a whole
that
bunch of
man.
them.
Cut this.
Go ahead. This is when Josh gets to choose his favorites, right? So if you're not named by Josh, you have to unfollow him on Twitter.
Wait, I got mine. Let me break in because it's gonna have nothing to do with any of the rest of yours.
Sure.
I I do not know the people who do it, but I'm pretty sure the title is Out on the Lanai. It is an actual Golden Girls podcast, and they kind of just go from top to bottom through the episode, and very specifically talk about the outfits in the episodes because they are truly wild. It was the 80s. It was a crazy time, and I super appreciate that.
And you gotta love the fact that a bunch of women in their 60s were considered to be grandmothers and retirees.
Old as fuck. Yes.
Yes.
Lewis is
There
5
are
years
a bunch
away
of
from his
people in their
60s.
60s that are grandmothers and retirees.
Excuse me?
Yeah, but they don't look like that anymore.
That's what
No,
I'm
they don't look
saying.
like that anymore. I'm just like, I remember growing up, some of my family was retired and grandma. Am I the only one here whose grandmother was 48 when he was born?
No,
My
but
mom was
we're-
42, man.
Yeah. Josh is like, he knows. No, but
My
they
dad
didn't-
was
they
older
don't
than your
look
grandmother.
Like that anymore. I mean, my mom's in her 60s. She's beautiful. I wish I looked half that good growing up.
My
Lewis's
grandmother-
geriatrics are kicking in. He's trying to map out his 5 years to his 60s.
I
My
think
grandmother,
my
grandmother
grandma
was 10
was
years
in her,
younger.
my
10
grandma
years
was
younger than Liz's dad, my wife's dad.
my grandma was already in her 60s when I
Let
was
me-
born. So
Let me bring this back in. Josh, any podcast y'all like to shout out?
So yeah, we've got Decaying with the Boys, Fuck My Work Life, Casting Views, Video Game Club, obviously, Two Blokes
Game
from
Club
Buddy.
Pod. Come on now.
Game Club Pod. I'm sorry, it's you guys changed it like 3 months ago. And I went for almost a year, over a year, calling it the Video Game Club. Then there's the Cult Worthy. You've got No on 15, my guy Caesar. You've got the Geeky Dad. Jeez, there's so many. Review It Yourself, Sean. Hi. I still consider you a madman with all the stuff you do. There are just so many, and now I'm going to lose so many followers on Lonnie's website that I don't care about anymore. But you guys can follow me on Instagram because then we can circumvent Slade's rules.
I mean, like,
I'm still learning how Instagram works.
For me, I mean, it's I don't know if you call them indie or not, but I know they're not big. But I like to listen to the Mumblecast, which is headed by Ian Flynn, the writer for IDW, primarily Sonic stuff, but he also does a bunch of other things in there as well. There's another guy that hosts with him, but good stuff. Talks about comics. If you like to be in comics, give some tips and pointers there. So yeah, he's a good guy. He probably doesn't remember who the hell I am, but long ago acquaintance. So there you
go. We've also got Super Familiar with the Wilsons, the Movie Wire with Justin Henson.
Josh just looking at people who follow
the Radiant Black
right
podcast.
Yes.
Panel to panel. I'm looking at my desk. There's nothing here.
He's actually looking at the
I'm going
sponsor
through.
list
I'm
for
going
our
through my
episodes.
internal Rolodex.
He's got his scroll. He's opened his scroll.
Watching stuff. Aaron, Dustin, and all her friends there watching stuff. Like that's a lot of fun. There's so many great indie podcasts that I feel bad that I can't list them all. Red Dove podcast, definitely Red Dove podcast. I Hate It, Let's Watch It. That's another one that I really need to work on getting a collaboration done with them.
All right, start the music. He's got to get off.
Yeah, I gotta get off the stage now.
Yeah.
So, Alex, you haven't said anything yet.
Coast to Coast PM. It is a podcast that actually reviews past episodes of Coast to Coast AM. It's
Rebecca
great.
has a picture of Brack from Space Coast Coast to Coast in her back wall there.
Yeah.
I painted that.
Hell yeah.
Dark Dice.
Oh, I love Brack.
I just love the stories that they're doing with that actual roleplay podcast. This podcast is called Movie Wire with Justin Henson. It's fantastic. I highly suggest
I just said that,
everyone
Alex. Quit trying to steal my thunder.
I'm sorry. You gotta realize that I have a better relationship with him than you.
Only because he fills in for me when I'm sick or unavailable.
Excuse me.
Seems like he likes me more because he's willing to fill in for me.
No one can fill the space in my heart that you take, Josh.
It's a Josh-shaped hole.
Talking Smack has just fallen apart, and we're looking for a new.
This is where I put in the Be Right Back music.
And hello. From
And
the
now
Magic
a
Tavern.
message from Hypnotoad.
Yes. Hello from the Magic Tavern. It's also a great podcast. It is indie. I'm sorry. It is a podcast about a guy who falls through a portal behind a Burger King in Chicago and lands in the magical, fantastical land of Foon. And every week is him interviewing somebody new from there.
All right.
Interesting.
I have a podcast I don't ever get to talk about, but did y'all ever watch To Catch a Predator?
Yeah.
No, I like
Did
the TV.
they ever catch him?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Chris Hansen, the host, has a podcast where he goes into more detail.
Are you serious?
Yes, he does.
Yo.
And he does. Yeah.
Yo.
Okay, so let me tell you something.
Okay, that sounds like a Becky podcast right there.
Our podcast comes out on Mondays, and I listen to that one before I listen to our own episode. It's so like listening to him actually go in depth about what happened.
That's amazing.
It's really cool.
What's he do? Like, does he recollect like every episode in order or something, or like?
No. He does it by request, and then he also answers like fan questions as well about the show.
It's phenomenal.
Which gives like a deeper. It's like one of the things I always wanted to know was like, do they eat the food that the predators bring? And he's like, no, they actually turn it over for evidence.
Smart.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because you don't know if they've like
Yep.
spiked it or done
Roofied it
something
or
to
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. What about the Arrested Development episode? Does that count? We'll get back to it. That's a deep cut.
But since we were talking about having to pull Josh off the stage, right? Here is something I came up with the other day: is how do we make award shows take like your Golden Globes, the Academies, as cool as the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, right? Like the celebrities get their time for their stupid little speech or whatever, but then they lose all their integrity by getting slimed, which is really fun.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can go to. Is slime them.
How do we
That's literally
how would you
how
humanize
any
them better?
Award show should be horrible embarrassment.
Yeah. Is that how we make
Make
award
them-
shows actually more entertaining?
I think-
I would.
If I
That's
solved
your,
it,
well,
it's your
They get
countdown.
invited to whatever the fanciest thing is, but everybody gets assigned a store that they have to get their outfit from, and it's Target, Old Navy, and they have to go in person. They can't order anything online, so they have to deal with whatever shit is there or not there in their size. Target, Old Navy, and then the clothing section at like your other like I would say in Illinois, Meijer, like your supermarket, that's kind of halfway. Walmart does not count. So no Walmart, but Meijer, yes. It has to be like the secondary shitty kind of grocery store. That's the only place you can get any of your fashion and accessories.
I'm down with.
Then you
I'm
gotta
down
go
with that.
and explain it.
Bring some normalcy.
Is this
Yep.
is this how we fix the award ceremonies to make them actually better?
Well, that and when the music
Cancel
starts,
them.
they have 5 seconds before they get slimed. So I mean, I'm down with the slime.
Yes, I like that too. But not slime, something...
Fire.
See,
I like
Lit on
that. I
fire.
was going to say tarred and feathered, but okay.
Well, I mean, just a drop shoot. Just that's it.
Now,
Well-
unless they can prove that they use their celebrity status for good, i.e., legitimate like charities
Not Tom
and
Cruise.
like giving and stuff
Well-
like that,
Now,
Like
because then you gotta
Then-
pick and
then
then you gotta pick and choose.
they get the stage to talk whatever they want to talk
Because
about.
then you gotta pick and choose.
That's the whole point. You should pick and choose.
No, man, everybody gets the fire. Like, don't get it. You're doing all great, cool. Don't let it go to your head. Otherwise, fire.
Yeah.
I vote make it like the Grammys, where every award just goes to the same person, and they have to
That
carry
also
every
good.
damn
Yeah.
trophy around with them for the rest of the night. I would pay money to watch Jennifer Lawrence win every award, including Best Male Actor, and just see her being like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. Look at me, I'm such a normal person."
While carrying like 7 awards or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm so average, just
But
like
it must be
you.
carried in a paper bag, like a shopping paper bag.
No, I think they have to
No.
awkwardly carrying it. No bag. They have to
No,
just, like,
yeah,
No
they're-
bag, no nothing. They got to grasp that motherfucker.
there's that great picture of Taylor Swift with like 7 like super pointy pyramids. I bumped my mic again. I talk with my hands too much. 7 like super pointy pyramid awards of some kind of award, and she's just got like all of them. She's just like, it's such a great honor to win all these awards.
I just figured the crinkling of the paper bag when it comes back up, like. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my. Let me put this down. Oh my God.
Now make
There's-
it a plastic bag so you hate them a little bit more.
I suppose.
There's no audio technician that would allow a paper bag in their
That's what I'm saying.
sound
That's
system.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It'd be magic in the worst way possible.
Alex, do you have any thoughts
These are
on
good
these?
so I'm a fan of history, and what the Romans used to do is they used to do something called a triumvirate. A triumph. And when a general would return from conquering the battle, and they would celebrate him. It was often like a 2 or 3 day parade, and ended on like animal sacrifices and all the stuff to the gods of like to Jupiter and all that.
I
stuff.
don't like where this is going.
No, the thing about it is
Bo, leave the room.
is that they would have somebody ride in the same carriage with them, and that person's
Seems
job
inappropriate.
was to just whisper to them, "This
That's
can
very
all be
inappropriate.
taken away."
This is alarming.
Did Alex
Alex freeze at that
I think
exact
Alex-
moment.
Oh,
This could all be taken
That
away, and
was
then he's gone. Oh, no.
perfect.
God.
He's
Oh, my
gone.
God.
Could not have frozen at the worst time.
I
the
hope that
worst
was on purpose.
face. He
hope-
got
A
taken
face
away.
of shock and like.
Nobody was even whispering
Oh my
it to
God,
me.
that
I'm
was
This could all be
amazing.
taken away, frozen, gone.
If
Oh,
he comes
no.
back, I'll let him finish. But I have one
his
last
5
question.
seconds are up.
Yeah, he got yanked away. I have one last question for y'all. You were on a deserted island.
Nope.
You get 3 movies, 3 games, and I'll say 3 DVD Blu-ray box sets, right? And when I say Blu-ray box sets, you kind of have to decide, like, this isn't like, all 10 seasons of Futurama, but you either have to pick like 1 through 5 or 6 through 10.
I got it.
All right. And just so he doesn't have time to think, Lewis, what are we taking?
All right.
He's thinking so
3
hard.
movies, 3 games, and 3 box sets. Right. All right.
Yep.
Scott Pilgrim
Right.
movie. Shit. I'm on the spot. I'm breaking down.
Well, you already picked a really shitty one.
No,
so it just
fuck
doesn't matter
you.
what I
You're
was gonna
wrong.
say. It's all garbage.
Scott Pilgrim's
I'll
amazing.
tell you what, get through your 3 movies, and then Becky has to go immediately afterwards.
Yes.
Okay, movies.
He says it like I'm not ready.
Fucking Scott Pilgrim, Dark Knight, and Endgame. Games.
Welcome back, Alex.
Games. Let's do.
That was beautifully timed, by the way.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you do that on purpose?
And the-
Yeah.
You froze right at when you said, what did he say? That nobody's coming back?
This can all be
How can we take it away? And
Yeah, he said this could all be taken away, and your hands were up like this, and then you just disappeared. And it
was
could not
amazing.
have...
We were shocked and a little concerned.
I'm sad that we're not also recording video because that would have been just phenomenal.
Amazing.
Hold on, Liz. I want to let Alex finish real quick his thought,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
and then we'll get back to you. Great. Alex, to catch you up on the current question that Lewis is answering, you are on a deserted island. You get 3 movies, 3 games, 3 DVD/Blu-ray box sets. Now, I have a rule for the DVD Blu-ray box set, which is like, we'll use Futurama as an easy example. So you either have to pick like the box set of season 1 through 5 or 6 through 10. The other thing, and this is a rule for video games on this podcast, so like for online connectivity, it doesn't exist. But the example I use is that you can still play something like GTA Online, and you can do the heist, but it's going to be populated by all bots. So you still have access to that content, but there's no other people. All right, Lewis, if you'd like to finish your answer.
Okay, so with 3 movies: Scott Pilgrim, Dark Knight, Endgame. Really, me shooting in the dark. The first movie is the first one, that's for sure. The other 2 are like, yeah. For 3 games. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and this one's gonna be the biggest fucking hard one because it's like a 5-way tie for me. Super Metroid.
Okay.
Good.
And what's our 3
Box
DVD
sets?
Blu-rays?
We'll go with give me 1 Metalocalypse, give me 1 Venture Brothers, and then give me 1 The Critic.
Okay. I wasn't ready for the first 2 choices, but they're really solid choices.
Fuck yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Becky, what do we got?
All right, Lewis stole mine because I was going to say definitely Metalocalypse. But you can watch that over and over and over and over
Hell yeah.
again. I would
The
pick
movie's coming.
the first 5 seasons of The Golden Girls
I saw that coming.
for my DVD box sets. Clearly, I have to. And Futurama.
Right. But
The first half.
first half? Okay.
Yeah, the first half. The originals to mid area of the universe. Their universe, who knows. My games, well, I gotta pick Final Fantasy X too, because it's classic. And then I wasn't gonna pick it, but I'm saying Pokemon Snap, because fuck whoever doesn't like Pokemon Snap. I better think of a
You're
good
like
one.
my wife.
Shit
That's
game.
one.
It's a piece of shit fucking game.
Wait, tell us how you really feel. It's like me and Scott Pilgrim. What a waste of time.
Yep.
My third game would be, shoot, I just had it because I was like, what? The original Golden Sun.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you'd be all over Banjo.
I love that
I
game.
thought you'd be all over
It's
Banjo.
So good.
All right, cool.
Nope, I didn't like that. And then, what am I? Movies?
Yeah.
3 movies.
Yes, movies. I didn't. Okay, my 3 movies are Wild, Not of Control, just like me. Animated Anastasia.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, it's a good movie.
That's a good movie every time.
It's a good
It's so good. I like War of the Worlds. That's a Tom Cruise movie. I enjoy it thoroughly every time I watch it. It's good. That's
You're like one
just
of the
a good
2
movie.
people.
I know why I like it. I think it's really well done. See, I'm not alone. Josh is over here trying to hate on shit that doesn't need to be hated on.
It's like the Nickelback
and then
conversation all over again.
I know. I was
It's
like,
true.
we all ganged up on you. We were like, fuck you, Josh. And then the last movie I would pick would probably be Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. All right.
Yep.
Alex, you haven't had as long to think of as everybody else. What are we taking, my man? You know, you got 3 movies, 3 games, 3 DVD, Blu-ray box sets. What are we taking to this deserted island? Josh, what are we doing?
So, fun sidebar here. Episode 5 of Talking SMAC was me and Beppo doing desert island video games. We talked about the 5 video games we would take on a desert island with our. We did add a caveat that you could have online co-op, though.
What the fuck are you connecting to?
See, that's what that's why I made.
It's the magic of the world.
No, that's why I made the rule. That's why I made the rule of online.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. It's not like it's actually going to happen. So
You're gonna
whatever.
find this Ethernet port.
I
in the
just
sand
want you to be
somewhere.
happy in this hypothetical. So I'm going to start with video games because movies is going to be one of the hardest ones for me. Kitty cat.
Makes me want to sneeze.
Makes me want to sneeze.
I'm definitely allergic to cats.
Same, and I have 2.
Stop showing us your pussy.
Oh,
Enjoy,
poor thing.
enjoy editing this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
There's so I would start with video games. I would start with Tetris.
Okay.
That's a game that will never get old,
Yeah.
and it's always going to be you got to beat your best score.
Cool with that. I get lost in Tetris all the fucking time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get
you
it.
can lose hours in that game. Am I allowed to do like the Mass Effect Legendary Edition?
Yes,
Because
that's fine.
that's all basically one disc.
Yep.
I'll do that. And Portal 2.
Okay.
That's a good answer. I like it.
A little bit of drama, a little bit of comedy, and a little bit of I gotta beat my high score. As far as TV shows, I would say Scrubs season. I mean, if I'm gonna have the entire collection of Scrubs, I'll do that. Otherwise, if I have to specifically go with one, I'd say season 8. I'll do Futurama's season 1 through 4,
Okay.
and then man, Batman the Animated Series was a good answer. I think I'll go Justice League Unlimited though.
Okay.
Not as good of an answer.
Not quite, but it's still a lot of fun.
And what's our 3 films that we're taking?
I'll die before I have to pick just 3 movies to watch.
You gotta pick.
Do
No,
it.
you can only pick 3, Josh.
Like, I'm not even that big of a film guy, and I had a hard ass time. So yeah, I get it.
Jurassic Park.
Right.
You would.
Yeah.
On an island? Are you crazy?
Josh watches it one too many times. They're
Kinda-
paranoid.
kind of fitting though. Yeah, though at the same time.
Jesus.
Osmosis Jones.
I do have a fun memory of that. My science teacher made us watch that one day, and she busted up laughing when one of the kids, I think of the love interest, his name is Chuck, and someone, I think it's his teacher, he's like running up to her trying to tell her something, and she's like, "What's up, Chuck?" And my science teacher just started laughing. She's like, "Up, Chuck."
I get it.
I guess, cool.
I gotta
World.
go Avengers Endgame too. I don't want to piggyback off Lewis, but that's just like pure nerd enjoyment for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's Jurassic Park, Endgame, and
Cool World.
What's a
Baby's Kids.
cool? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Ooh,
Nice.
that's an interesting choice.
Nice. I take credit for that for giving me Cool World. That's you know.
Yeah, I was thinking
you're
that's
welcome.
actually a good vein to go down. Let's follow that.
All right. Well, we have. I have good news, everybody. We've made it through the questions. It's only taken 2 hours, but we've gotten through it.
I wasn't
That's it.
here.
It's like
I wasn't here.
not my friends
I wasn't
anymore.
here for the first hour. Can we start over?
Sure.
Yes.
Well, this is actually the fun
There's
part.
a lot of opinions you're gonna have.
Lewis, are you ready? This is the really fun part where the AMA gets flipped.
Oh,
And now y'all can ask me whatever you'd like to.
Oh, I got one. Where do you get the audacity? Is my question.
Where do I get the audacity? When I wake up every morning.
You download it off Google. It's open source.
source.
What the fuck? No one told me that.
It's because you don't edit the podcast.
It's true. All right, I want to know if you could. Okay, let's say you've got to be not on a desert island, but you have to stay on. Okay, now I'm trying to think of my worlds are colliding. Does anybody know what an assault bike is? Okay, and like an airdyne bike, where the pedals and the arms move, and it's a giant fan.
Yes.
Okay, it's that, but the worse version. So you have to be on an airdyne bike for the entirety of a single movie. What movie is it?
What's the movie I know with the shortest runtime? Or can I just go slow?
Hey, you have to keep a base pace.
I have to keep a base pace.
Yeah. So your legs are going to be burning.
2011 Winnie the Pooh is 62 minutes. It just barely makes the feature length runtime.
The fun part is I don't watch many movies, but most of the ones I like are.
I know, that's why I got to ask.
The
I'm like, you're not a movie
the-
person like me.
The majority of the ones I watch are fairly long, though, is the problem.
That's my
What?
problem.
What?
The ones I do like are long ass movies.
What would I watch?
Oh damn, Slade! I should have said your name.
Oh yeah, I could do
would've been a
that.
good one
I
for
would have zoned
movies.
out. Yeah, no, that'd be a really good one. I could
That's a
say,
beautiful movie to just
Yeah.
watch on a desert island.
yeah, Your Name would be the one I would do. That's a
I have an
beautiful
addendum
film.
for
I
mine,
could-
but I'll get to that later.
I can get lost in that one. Yeah, Your Name.
All right, I like it. You get lost in it because
Yeah.
you're suffering on that assault bike.
Oh.
Come on, assholes, think of something good.
Trying.
He had a great
Well,
answer.
my problem is I talk to him and the other Game Club boys all the time. So like I'm just like
That's
I already know the
true.
answer to these questions.
Do you know the answers?
Oh.
No, not really.
Think of something wild then.
I mean, I asked you if you pee in the shower.
Yeah, I mean it's open.
I don't know who the hell's John Waters.
Same.
All three of us just went.
IMDb,
Who?
John.
IMDb John Waters.
Google.
Okay. What?
You'd have to list me as movies. It's not a name that is in the front of my brain.
John Waters. He looks like a pedophile.
I'm familiar with Hairspray, but I've not seen it.
Looks like a pedophile. Ooh, ouch.
Hello, fellow young people.
He looks worse than Steve Buscemi. What do you mean? Hang on. I'm gonna put this in the little group chat that Josh made earlier. You gonna tell me this guy doesn't look like a diddler?
I just hate
Y'all
that he's
look
been
If y'all look
I'm-
at your
No,
Discord real quick.
that image definitely.
That's the first image that showed up
I
on
just
IMDb.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus
God.
Christ! Oh my
God.
God!
All right.
Oh.
What happened? No wonder he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be behind the screen.
do.
He looks like he'll have little Timmy hanging out behind him going, "You'll float too, you'll float too."
I'd like to point out the first thing he's known for is pecker.
Ah.
Yeah, he has what we call a face for radio.
Yep.
That's true.
The answer is nothing because I'm not aware of anything that he's done.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
scrolling. Oh, My Name is Earl. I actually quite like that. That was good. Oh, Frasier? I didn't know this.
Oh yeah,
He was the
He's
voiceover.
learning something.
Yeah, there we go.
Damn. Frasier's in my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time.
I hate to ruin
Watch it-
hate to
watch
ruin
it
it like
once
that,
and you
Alex,
read it
but
here.
here we are.
All right, Slade, I got one for you.
What's up, Josh?
Ooh yeah.
You have to recommend an anime to someone, but it can't be Attack on Titan.
Ooh.
Oh, anime's so hard to recommend. That's
I've-
the problem.
He's already recommended shit to me, so I'm out on this one.
Anime's so hard to recommend. Who am I recommending it to?
Me.
Becky,
To Becky?
someone you met 2 hours ago.
Someone I met 2 hours.
Is it your guys' first time? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've never met Becky. What would I write? Becky, do you like
It's not my first time.
do you like just like regular old slice of life stuff?
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say yes, and since I'm not with anime, but I'm not all up to jive. What? Am I
Jargon.
80? What the fuck? What was that? I'm not up to jive with the anime. Is the phrase I went with. Here's what I have watched in its entirety and enjoyed: the original Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Sailor Moon Crystal is absolute hot trash garbage. I do not
Wow.
like that. And Fruits Basket.
Oh, you like
Fruits Basket Slice of Life. So
I loved it. It
it
was
is amazing.
So cute.
Which one? Wait, hold up.
You know
The
what?
first run or the second one?
I watched the first one. That was the very first thing I ever
Find
streamed on Netflix. Ever.
find the second run, or I'll give you.
I did.
Like, you did.
I did.
Yes.
I did,
Yes.
and I did not. At first, I was not about it because
Okay.
they did the thing where all the limbs are just really long, and I didn't like how it looked
Oh, whatever.
visually. But I liked how much more story there
Oh,
was.
yeah,
I did like
yeah.
them
That's
both.
the point. I would like to say that Himoria would be the anime I would recommend then.
All right, never heard of it,
Himoria.
but I will believe in you.
No, because they're titular. They are titular. We can tell you which one, and that's it. The end. What number is that? What number is that? How am I supposed to know that? God damn it.
Yeah, if you're looking at trade paperbacks, it'll usually say Volume 1 with the new creative team. So there's your jumping on point. But again, if you're jumping onto this first run of Spider-Man for this most recent new creative team, you're fucked either way because they do not care.
I would, Josh. Anyway, so Moria, it's really good. If somebody likes easy slice of life to watch, where you don't have to deal with the shenanigans of, oh, do I like you, do I not like you thing, and like the couple actually gets together in the third episode. It's really good. Section.
Oh wait, I hate romance though.
That's a good anime as well.
I haven't seen that one yet. I want to.
I wonder about isekais.
Anyway, I got one for you. Probably not as fun, just because it's probably like a really easy one to answer. But what is your go-to, like, game-wise? Which is one that you can go back to and play from beginning to end, from beginning to end. How many times have you done it? Like, which one? Like, for me, I can tell you right now, it's gonna be Mario 64, Super Metroid, and like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I can go back to those and just without fail. For example,
the easy answer is Half-Life 2.
Yes.
On my current Steam account, I've probably put 60, 70 hours in it, and that's an 8-hour campaign.
That's another one on mine.
Just because I can turn my brain off and run straight through that, and that's actually like my decompressed, relaxed game, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. What about, are you like me with Half-Life 1? Once you reach the other side, you just put it down.
Once you reach Zen,
put it down.
Nobody.
I like you, brother.
Nobody likes.
Nobody likes it. I need to play the Black Mesa because apparently they. Did you play it already?
Yes.
Because apparently they fixed Zen like nobody's business.
It's
like comparatively, yeah, it's better.
Yes,
but they fixed it to where like I can play through this and not fall asleep halfway.
But you need to play Black Mesa. It's really good.
Man, I keep
it was on sale for like $3 during the sale last.
Don't tell me that. Oh. That face.
Wait, I have a good one
right,
that anybody could answer.
Yeah.
42.
Every time I play that game, I finish it to completion. 120 stars. Yoshi up top. Get all my 99 lives.
There we go.
Controversial take. Fuck 3D Marios.
We're no longer friends.
It was a good run.
It was. That's the only 3D Mario I liked was 64.
What's there not?
But I think it has more of a nostalgia value to it because we did not play it seriously. We had no idea what was happening, and I played it with my siblings.
Not?
No.
So we spent
I'm pretty sure
5 hours just dropping the penguin off the ledge.
I get Becky because her and I are around the same age, so I get what she means. That was part of mine as well.
Yep. It's like you don't play the video game. It's so hard to describe to people. You play it like you're playing like a game of house. That's how we played.
I can
like Banjo Tooie, but you could do like the battle. Mm-hmm. We played it like we were playing a 2-player like game, and somehow we used our imagination. We didn't just play it to battle and like who wins, who loses. We would play that for fucking hours and just like collect shit, walk around, do nothing, come up with nonsense bullshit. I have no idea what that game is about to this day.
But like at the same time, like 3D Mario, with the exception of Sunshine, everybody can agree that Sunshine is a piece of hot fucking pile of garbage.
Lewis, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, well, good run.
Right.
But like Galaxy, fucking phenomenal. Like
Galaxy has an amazing soundtrack.
Sunshine's my favorite 3D Mario.
It looks good. It played, but I didn't care about it.
And you guys are missing out.
I know.
Galaxy has an amazing soundtrack. It looks great. Plays like ass, and fuck that camera angle.
That's the point.
Yeah, fuck that concept.
Jesus Christ. Lordy.
Okay, wait.
Mario.
Y'all have made me sad.
Side-scrolling Mario 3D Land.
Okay.
That's the best one.
I'm gonna ignore them.
At least I like 3D Land.
This is a good one because I don't know if people do this the way that I had to do this growing up because my siblings fucking suck.
Right.
What game could you never actively like play, but watch somebody else play and actually enjoy it?
Okay, so the answer to that is Ocarina of Time. So
that's a good answer.
Ocarina of Time is the answer. So my cousin Zach was the one who was playing the game. I was in charge.
It's always a cousin.
I was in charge of the guidebook, and
Yeah.
walking him
Nice.
through what to do, and
Nice.
his job was to play it. And
I'm
I
not mad
have
at that.
really good memories of that game until I played it myself later, and I was like, I don't know how he did any of this stuff.
I'm not mad at that.
Isn't that wild? That's how I played with my brother and sister. I'm like, and I never actually played any of the Assassin's Creeds. I've tried number 1. I was like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, and it's super boring. I watched a boyfriend play the Ezio trilogy at least 3 times all the way through, and it was like, I like, do not play
Without me,
unless I'm
yeah.
watching. And I'd be like, wait.
That's
Okay, are you at the next point, because I want to see what happens. Like I was super into it, but I never wanted to actually play it.
That's
myself.
me and the wife. Anything Naughty Dog,
Yep.
she'll sit down and watch me play, and anything
I just wanna watch.
horror, I'll sit down and watch her play, because then I can get up and walk away.
Yeah, I don't have to like be the person doing all the hard work.
I'm not into horror, like not at all. Especially now with the newer
Yeah, Slade-
graphics. Fuck no, Jesus Christ.
To piggyback off your answer, Slade, like for me, it would literally be any Legend of Zelda game that's not Breath of the Wild. Like we've had this discussion in both the Game Club pod and the Talking Smack Discord, where I am just not enjoying Tears of the Kingdom. It is too fucking big. And I recently discovered that there is an underworld, and I'm just like, there's more fucking map.
It's Josh.
No, I
played-
literally,
I'm 60 something hours in. I don't want to finish it.
I
What?
literally stopped playing the game for a month
My
when I
wife-
discovered the depths.
my wife
I just
absolutely-
picked it back up last weekend.
My wife absolutely destroyed that fucking game. She would not put that down. I don't even know like if she was watching over my son at all. Like he could have been dead for all I know, but she's like, I'm getting this shit done. She was hook, line, and sinker on that thing, and that's a game I sat down and watched because I have it. I don't have the time for that shit, dude. Like I want to play it, but then I saw everything I saw her go through. Like when. And it was just gonna turn into a fucking like game pod now if we keep going like this. But yeah,
I just don't care for maps that big. Just tell me the damn story. Tell me my missions.
Little fun fact
Yeah.
for you, Josh. That's our last game we're reviewing this year because of how big it is.
That's what she said.
spoilers.
Little spoiler for the little list we have. I'd say Ninja Theory is good if they have somebody that's reeling them in a bit. Yeah, I'd say as long as Ninja Theory has somebody to reel them in a bit, it'll be fine.
It's not just real, though, man. I noticed that when they don't have, not that they don't have a budget, but when they don't have a finish line given to hit, I think when they're free reign, a la Nintendo, a la Sony with a lot of their first party shit, when you're just told make a good game go, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, you get some good shit. Because like you saw, Enslaved, DMC, like they had distinct like timelines they had to hit, milestones to hit, and usually when this is true of fucking video games, of movies and all that shit, once you have to do that, yeah, you gotta get suffering, and Ninja Theory is not good when they have a development cycle that they have to hit when they're reined in. Funny enough, you use the term reined in, which I think you meant like give them free reign instead of reined in. Their free reign is being reined in, I think.
Yeah. It's more so giving them time, but having somebody to also kind of make sure they keep their focus and
Keep in line. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. That's what I mean by reined in.
Parameters.
Yeah, that's what I mean by reined in. They have somebody making sure they're confined a bit. Like they can do what they want to, but they're not letting them go too wild.
Right. That's fair.
All right, so I have a weird. Lewis, this is for you to Slade.
Okay.
Defend
it's
Duke
his
Nukem
AMA.
forever.
Defend Duke Nukem Forever? It's fun and it's funny. The end?
It's
Yeah.
either. We actually played something worse than Duke Nukem Forever.
You actually
It's
what?
called- We played something worse than Duke Nukem Forever.
What?
It's called Hunt Down the Freeman. It's that
Yeah,
man-made
the
Half-Life
stupid.
game?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
which is somehow worse. And
Because it's a
like,
fan made it's a stupid thing. Like
There's-
it's on purpose.
there's a bit in the no. They're trying to be so serious with it.
No, there's no way that's serious. There's no way that's serious.
Yeah, it is. The tone of the game is not dumb.
Your face.
God. He's got a point. Like
Pokemon Snap?
I've never.
Pokemon Snap was more competent than Hunt Down the Freeman.
Yeah.
And
See,
to give you
here's
that-
Here's the thing. Duke Forever was just more of what everybody who was a fan of wanted.
Yep.
And that's it. If you weren't a fan and that's not what you wanted, like, was it dated? Fuck yeah.
Oh,
like,
extremely.
Was it the joke? Were the jokes wrong and like way past its era? Absolutely. I'm still gonna laugh at them. I'm like, oh my god, that was so fucked up. Like, I don't agree with that. That was hilarious though. But yeah, were there boring parts? Absolutely. But it was just more of what I wanted, and they delivered on it.
I brought up it was like a weird like museum of games, like, and how they've like progressed, because you could tell like where certain development cycles were and how the game looked and how it behaved. It was very odd to play.
Yeah, no, there's a huge rabbit hole you can find out there, through Reddit. Obviously, everything starts at Reddit. Somebody found documentation of everything that 3D Realms went through, and God, that game was just just a dumpster fire being put out every like 2 years. They went through 4 different game engines just because I forgot the original guy was just like, let's fucking change it. It's like, no, you have years of production here, literally lighting on fire. So that's why that happened. The main guy was a fucking idiot. Who's the? God, I forgot the. That's how disconnected I am from gaming anymore. Randy Pitchford.
Yes.
He tried to save it, just based off the name and seeing what they had, and they, sprinkled in some shit to finish it. But unfortunately, there was no way to save it, and yeah, like, unfortunately, they went too hard on the misogynistic Duke as opposed to like the, like, he's macho man idiot, but like, heart of gold guy. So there you go.
Like, Joey and Tim yelled at me in Hunt Down the Freeman before we recorded the episode because I was using no clip to get through some of the levels. Sure. But that's because like sometimes an enemy would die in a doorway, and it's the way you need to go to progress.
And you get stuck
because the hitboxes you couldn't go through the door.
What are you gonna do then? Yeah, you no clip, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's
that, or you reload the checkpoint.
Or because like they didn't keybind the parkour button wasn't keybound in the default controls.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
It's very poorly made.
Oh no shit.
Whereas Pokemon Snap,
you can do better. You can do better with Gary's mod.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But yeah.
Does
I hope
anybody
that
else
answered your question, Josh.
There you go. Anybody else have any other questions?
Have you told them how hard we went? I should say how hard I made you guys go for the GameStop midnight release of Duke Forever.
I believe I shared the picture of you, your wife, and Melvin.
Okay.
Cool. Getting all dressed up for it. Cool. Melvin with his twiggy little arms.
Yep. No, we were one of 2 stores in the region that had a midnight release because I fucking pimped that game
Lewis
out
hyped
like
it up
nobody's
so
business.
much to,
and I stood behind it, and like those who actually came in and picked it up. And unfortunately, reviews scared a lot of people away, so we had tons of cancellations. But I still I still stand by that game. I don't give a fuck.
And because of Lewis, Duke Nukem Forever was our like 5th most traded in game in our store, besides like Gears of War and every other Madden.
Yeah, no, it was not. So see, fucking.
What's up, Alex? That's more of a question. Well, I still haven't finished it. My PS5 is over here collecting dust at the moment, and Joey and Tim would need to get a start on it. I just can't do it, man. There's something about Aloy driving me nuts in the game.
Yeah,
and I just can't do it. I really can't. I've given that game like 3 or 4 goes, and I don't know what it is.
All right, I got one more question for you, Slade.
All right, what's up, Josh?
Maybe more as like a broad game club pod idea that you are gonna try to create an answer for. But what is a game that you would say is untouchable? Like you guys are never gonna cover it on the Game Club pod.
That's not a game. Come on.
Untouchable on
Pokemon Snap.
No, we reviewed Pokemon.
They've already done that episode.
Last one. Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
We did Pokemon Snap. We ended up talking about blowjobs instead of the game, to be honest with you.
Where the hell was I?
I can see the yeah. Oh, that intertwines. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we were thinking of things more entertaining. Anyways,
a better use of a
giving,
joystick.
receiving doesn't matter.
something.
Gold.
I do believe that was a question that came up is, would you give a blowjob, if I remember correctly?
As opposed to playing Pokemon Snap?
No. It was how good of a blowjob do you think you can give?
That's what it was.
While playing Pokemon Snap.
No.
Yeah, they had to rate themselves on how,
Yeah.
like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think of a blowjob you think you would give?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, again, the game is very boring. Right now, I'd have to say it'd be anything VR, just because I'm the only one of us who's heavily invested in it. Tim, I know, has an older HTC Vive set. Joey, I don't think we can convince him to buy a Valve Index because they're like $1,000.
Do you?
Right.
Sorry, not to cut you off. Do you guys have a YouTube at all, or is it all podcasts?
All
voice?
podcast, just
Like-
all audio.
Like you could do a Let's Play type of situation with them watching you since they don't have the VR. Like
Yeah.
that'd be the only way
Well,
to do it.
I did a full stream. So back when I used to do a lot on Twitch, I did a full stream of me playing Half-Life Alyx, which I think is the pinnacle VR game, and it does not get better than Half-Life Alyx.
Sort of got it. They don't bring that out to PS5. That's the only one I'm gonna be able to play that because I do not have the money to soup up a fucking PC and then buy fucking VR.
You just
for
need
that
to
game.
you just need to jailbreak your an Oculus Quest 2 or whatever it is.
It requires me to have one first of all.
There you go.
Or bad. You just don't want to subject yourself to it.
Final Fantasy 10 too.
Well, okay, so y'all say this, but we really don't subject ourselves to anything. VR is just off limits mainly due to cost, but if we can get a hold of it to play it, it's on the table. I'm sure we would. I mean, I gave Final Fantasy VII a good shin kicking. I'm happy to give any more of it a good shin kicking. Well, so was Final Fantasy VII, but that's a whole different. Yeah.
I remember looking at the strategy guide for Final Fantasy 13, and just the leveling up system seemed so awful.
Yeah.
I was like, not touching this.
From my understanding, 3 was the better of the 3 of them that were actually worth a damn. But by that point, if you want to be invested in the story, you can't.
I think
at all.
Yeah. I think I also touched
that
a
sounds
bit
good.
of a nerve with Alex there on saying that Final Fantasy VII is not that great. I don't have any childhood nostalgia for it. I didn't play it until I was an adult, and I played the original. Did not have fun.
If you played the
No,
original,
I'm there with you, Slade. I think Final Fantasy 7 is an overhyped
if you played the original, like Jerry, if you played the original, there's nothing really to hang on there to because things have gone so much better. Things
Right.
are written so much better. Josh, if you played it while it was live,
I played it when I was in 7th grade, I think, maybe 8th
So yeah,
grade.
that's around the time it came out. And if you didn't
Yeah,
like it, then,
I think it had hit
Yeah.
greatest hits, but it was still like new.
yeah, but
I think Final Fantasy 8 had just come out.
were you ever into JRPGs at all? Because if not, then
I played Final Fantasy 8 and then I came back to Final Fantasy 7. Just because it's like, oh, let's see what else is out there. And Final Fantasy 7, I couldn't get into at all.
8 to 7 is a big step back visually. So if visually,
Yeah,
is
and I know that was a big part of it, but just the mechanics as well. The way I liked the way 8 played. The story is but the mechanics of how 8 played I liked a lot better than what 7 offered.
and that's why you went backwards. And once you do that,
See, I don't judge games visually just because I know graphics improve over time. There's also a big difference between graphics and art direction in my book when I judge something.
yeah, absolutely.
Like I can play the original Fallout games. They look just as good as Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, absolutely.
the style
I'll
doesn't
still-
bother me.
Yeah, and likewise with me, with not just art direction, but just direction overall, sound design and everything. A lot of games during the from the Wii era on, where they started getting these beautifully art crafted, it's no longer 2D sprites. I mean, they're technically sprites, but they're beautifully drawn type of games oh god,
Okami?
Yeah.
well, no, Okami's a 3D game. I'm talking about actually a 2D game. There's a game title in my head that it just escapes me, and I can't. Muramasa? Sounds right. But
Pokemon Snap.
no.
Sorry, last one.
But games like that, oh my god, I can't wait to play it. It looks beautiful. It's like I'm playing an animated
Right.
show, and then you play it, and the sound design is just off, and it's way too quiet, and it's
Yeah.
boring. So yeah, it's everything has to be right for that shit to happen. But yeah, I I never got into. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to judge on you guys hating on Final Fantasy VII. I don't
it was
care
only
for Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I don't care about Final Fantasy VII just because I've never been into JRPGs. Like I just don't have the mental capacity for it.
That is true.
So
yeah, for you
Yeah,
especially. I also wonder if it just matters. Like it does. It has to be the perfect storm of like timing, interest, and like your any desire to play the game. Would you ever be like, hey, you've never played a JRPG before, why don't you play Final Fantasy X-2? You have no idea what the fuck's going on. Here you go. But that's what happened to me because my mom and my sister were like, hey, there's 3 girls on the cover.
Yeah.
You want to try?
Right.
We fucking loved the shit out of that game.
Yeah.
I loved the dress sphere like nonsense and having to like figure out how to do that. I liked that they just leveled up as you played. I was all about it. When I knew that I had to play Final Fantasy X first, so I was like, who the fuck is this blonde-haired dude that she gives a fuck about? Like, what's this about? And I'm like, oh fuck, you're talking to everybody like, hey, don't you remember me? And I'm like, from what? And then when I learned, yes, it's the sequel to this game, when I played Final Fantasy X, I was like, well, this sucks.
Yep.
I was like, the characters they look weird. I don't like how they're drawn. This fucking sphere grid makes no sense. And now it's like one of my favorite things. But like, I love 10-2's battle system because I know it's not good now, arguably, but the nostalgia is there for it.
But design, battle, for JRPGs for me is design, art design, battle system, and story. 7 wasn't it?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 6 and Chrono Trigger in that era though, like I ate those the fuck up.
Chrono Trigger.
Have you played Persona?
I can't do it.
You can't really?
I can't do it.
That's the only JRPG
like
series I like. That's it.
I didn't like
and
them.
then and by the way, I say I like Final Fantasy 6 and Chrono Trigger. I ate him up. I never beat him still to this day. However, the only one that absolutely fucking just like swallowed me whole on the Dreamcast, Grandia 2. Fucking devoured that game and finished it. Like nothing else captivated me like that. And I guess I'm just the only person alive that played that game. I guess. So.
This is going to be.
Last thing.
Go ahead. I'm about to say.
Last thing I'm gonna say real quick, Slade. Sorry. Going back to art direction versus graphics, I'll never forget going back to our GameStop days. We had this summer-long stretch where we could not keep Borderlands in stock.
Yep.
We were pitching it to people as reservations, and we had like 5 or maybe 10 reservations at most. So GameStop allocates based on reservations. So we had 10 reservations. They gave us 13 copies.
Yep.
After being out of stock for months, literally, where we'd get like 1 in, and the minute we registered it into our system, we'd have someone call us and be like, hey, put that on hold, I want it. Like, okay. And it was like that until like October of that year.
And we told people
and we were telling people because they would come in and they'd be like, hey, do you have this Borderlands game we've been hearing so much about? And we're like, you should have reserved it. Sorry, you're out of luck. I had one guy return it the same day. He's like, oh man, the graphics suck.
I remember that. An idiot.
Yeah.
And that was one of those days that got me angry, where that anger just seethed through me the rest of the day. Because then he went and bought a Call of Duty.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's not graphics, among other things, and you're a fucking idiot.
Yep. There's and the people who don't understand the difference are idiots. If you don't understand the difference between graphics and art direction.
Yep.
Yeah. If we don't have any more questions for me.
This episode has gone almost as long as Spider-Man No Way Home, so I think it's time to wrap up.
Yes, it is. But you know what, though? Yeah. But you know what, though? Josh.
I do not know what.
I have one little last question for you.
Oh, no.
And it's, have you ever heard of a little show called Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World?
As it so happens, I have, and I just started season 2 as of the day we're recording.
You just started season, nice.
And again, in 2 days' time. From
maybe we should talk about it on Monday.
Monday, September 4th. It's almost like, as of today, Monday, September 4th. In 2 days' time, on September 6th, we will be releasing on Talking SMAC an episode where Lewis, Slade, Alex, and I will be talking about Konosuba, God's something wonderful, something world of something.
God's blessing on this wonderful world.
You better like this fucking show, or I will smack you.
AKA Becky.
You better understand. You better understand and get the comedy behind it, because if you don't, you are dead to me.
Yes. So
Is that what happened with episode quote unquote 11
Yes.
with season 1?
Yes.
Where there's like a complete non sequitur episode that has nothing to do with anything?
Yeah, that's it's a way for them to introduce characters into the next episode or into the next season. Well, hopefully you all join me over there after listening to all of us, and I'll see you again Wednesday on Talking Smack.
Heyo.
Thank you. Real quick though, before we go, Josh, give the plugs one more time, and then let's get out of here. I want to go to sleep, man. It's like 10:30 at night.
Yeah,
It's past my bedtime.
God, you guys
Yeah.
are all old.
I'm younger than you. What do you mean? I just have to be up and.
I'm gonna be up for like 3
I try to
hours,
kick.
so.
I try to kick it to midnight just to have some life after the kids down. So I mean, yeah, you guys are absolutely old.
That's fair. This is my life after the kids are down.
I know, and I work at like 4:45.
I don't have kids. Wouldn't know.
So yeah, you can
I
follow.
I like the rush.
You can follow Talking Smack on all the social medias at Talking Smack Pod. Join our Discord. That will be in all of the Talking Smack episode descriptions. You can find us on pretty much any podcatcher. And yeah, thanks for having us, Slade.
Oh, you're welcome. This was a blast. I cannot believe this is gonna be the longest episode on the Game Club Pod channel. By the way,
You're not gonna edit this at all. You're putting this shit like just as is, aren't you?
basically, yeah. There's some background music that
he's
goes
gonna
in,
have
and that's about it.
Edit out
There's gonna
every
have
time
to-
I said Pokemon Snap, and that's an hour gone.
Oh man.
There's going to have to be some minor editing and syncing because we've had Lewis join in late and Alex got booted after, this could all be taken away.
That's fine. I
Oh,
need
you can
something
leave that
to
in there.
I need something to do while playing Red Dead Redemption 2, so that's fine.
You just not play Red Dead Redemption 2.
I have to. It's on our
The
to-do
game that
list.
always just makes me think of R2D2 because I hate the abbreviation for that fucking game.
I really enjoyed watching that when we played too.
It was
By Rolf?
What?
By Rolf?
I roll. Yes. Well, I'm like, who did play it? Yeah, it was.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. Josh, you have to hit the end of the episode.
I do have to hit the end of the episode.
Bye.